All right, guys, we are trying this one more time. I don't know what was going on. There were more updates that needed to happen, apparently, with my GPU and whatnot. So I don't know if that was my problem, but I needed a graphics card update and another update that I thought happened and did not. So hopefully. Hopefully, and I'm saying uh, hopefully this is all right. So we're gonna cross our fingers and give it another freaking try. So let's see if we can cross our cross our fingers and hope this actually lasts. But we'll see. I don't know. I was having some kind of conflicting hardware issues. So I'm back again. So yeah, that was crazy. That was weird. Yeah, agree. Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, I don't know what just happened there. I was live, things were running, and then all of a sudden things weren't running. So, dude, my whole computer just shut down. Everything just shut down. What's up, JT? Um, yeah, I had no control over that. My whole computer shut down. Sorry about that. Again, when your hardware has issues, yeah, it's kind of hard to figure it out. Unfortunately, that our computer and AI overlords didn't want everything working this morning apparently. So sorry, man. Hey, what's up, Loud Boys? Yo, I sorry about ending the stream abruptly like that. If you were in chat a little while ago, I had massive hardware confliction and update issues, so it crashed everything out completely. Um, yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about. We got a couple of topics I want to talk about. I know a lot of topics actually. And I actually started the stream at 11:15 today. I'm gonna. Do you guys like the changing lights back here, or do you guys want them to just go to like the normal white color? It's not cooperating with me right now. Trying to figure out if I want to have the alternating lighting here. But yeah, there's gonna be we got quite a few topics I want to talk about today, and I started the stream, and then again the stream kind of got killed, so I don't know what happened, but we'll figure it all out. Again, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of why the stream ended. All right. So you like the RG? Okay, all right. So the reason why I had a delay in the start originally before the hardware malfunctions was I was going to actually cosplay. I got my games suit, and I got my gauntlet. But as I explained in the stream that got killed, my wig kind of got a little messed up after the convention because I put this on top of my wig, so it's kind of flattened out. And my clips, actually, I need to super glue them all back in. I tried bobby pinning it in just so it would fit and hold into my wig today. And it wasn't happening, so I have to re-glue all my clamps back on. Um, but yeah, I was all ready. I was gonna do my cosplay on stream today. It's why I made the thumbnail the way it was, and it didn't quite work that way. As I said it earlier in the stream that did get ended abruptly. I uh, I gotta give cosplayers credit for the amount of just wear and tear those costumes and even the wigs get over one con. So yeah, my wig I'll show you real quick. Um my wig kind of lost all of its spikiness because I kind of had this sitting on top of it in the car, so it was like this. So as you can see, it kind of flattened all out. So yeah, it I gotta like style it because you can see where it got all flat in the front. But yeah, I gotta restyle it and respray it and whatnot. But yeah, I kept my gauntlet on, you know. Hey, what's up, lazy genius? Stream's running all right now, right? You guys are hearing my audio all right? I was having audio issues before the stream got killed before, so again, I apologize to people who did come in earlier and had a whole kerfuffle because yeah, I don't know what happened, but there were so many hardware issues and conflictions going on. I've never had that happen before, and I just ran a bunch of Windows updates this morning, and I think when all the Windows updates happen, um, something kind of went wrong, and yeah, I had to go and update my GPU and my graphics card and all that stuff. So all that's updated now. Hopefully the stream is gonna work smoothly now. So yeah, I even had to fix my little. I had to use a magic marker to put my little explosive holes in there because my thing actually came off here at the middle in the middle of the con. Everything I think good now. If you guys are hearing me and seeing me all right, I think we're good. I started the stream earlier, went for about 12 minutes, and everything crashed. My whole computer crashed. So hopefully you guys are doing all right. I still got my coffee, so cheers to everyone. We had, like I said, we got lots of stuff to talk about today. I am going to talk a little bit about the convention that I went to over the weekend, obviously, at the end of the stream. We had Bunny Girl Week this week. I was very excited. We're going to go over some Bunny Girl figures. And yes, I am very excited. Uh, and what else do we got? Man, we got, as far as news, I think Loudboy has actually mentioned a couple things I want to talk about. PlayStation, we're talking a little bit about Xbox, the Odyssey, um, GameStop, I want to talk a little bit about. What else do we got? Oh my God, there's so much stuff to talk about this week. Like, I'm hoping we can get through all of it, but we'll see. Hopefully we can. But there are, I got a couple of figures to show that I got, little haul. So we'll do that too. I got a couple of figures at the convention. Yeah, and new NTE content's going to be coming out too. I'm excited about that. Yep, July 29th. Yeah. We also have new Zenless coming as well. We're going to talk a little bit about. Ooh, wow, something just popped up in my feed too. Maybe we'll talk about that if we have time. But yeah, dude, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's just, ooh. But I'm kind of burning a few minutes here. Apologize because I want to make sure everything is running okay. And the lights are definitely interfering with the autofocus on my camera. Um, but yeah, I just want to make sure that things are going okay before we get too deep into things. And yes, this week, JT is a waifu week, so you will be very happy. um, we've got lots of waifus this week. Lots of waifus. Every day was a waifu. So I think we're okay now. I think we're past the threshold. I didn't see the two new characters, Loud Boy. Which ones are those? I'm gonna have to switch over and look at that look for that real quick. Oh yeah, I want to talk a little bit about God of War as well, the TV series, and touch a little bit about Avengers Doomsday. I have to look and see what we got here. 7 hours ago. Oh yeah, they did announce two new characters. We're gonna get some guys. Yeah. Who cares about the dude characters? Nobody cares about the male characters in a waifu gotcha game. Come on. Who cares about that? No, I don't know. I mean, sometimes the male characters are pretty freaking good. I'm not gonna lie. I've had a couple bangers, but yeah. So I've got my gauntlet on still, guys. I'm still partly in costume. Like I said. So dude, JT, man, were you even looking at the channel all last week, bro? It was all Japanese waifu. And speaking of which, good segue. We're gonna get right in to the figures. So we started off the week, you know, full disclosure first, before we start thinking, trying to figure out why my camera's kind of like off here. Let me just gotta go more this way. I feel like I'm off center and it's like bothering me. I feel like Death the Kid, like everything's gotta be symmetrical, right? So I know I said last week that I thought I kind of cracked the code because Bunny Girl started to do a little bit better and the figures with a lot of ass hanging out were doing a little bit better. Bunny Girl Week tested me. It tested my patience and my editing and the amount of quick cuts I had to do away from booties and things like that. Not over on Instagram, it's like Twitter now. You can show whatever the hell you want on Insta. Um, but for YouTube and for TikTok, I thought I cracked the code, man. I thought I cracked the code, and this week's figures kind of were a crap shoot for what was good and what was not good, and what was acceptable and what was not acceptable. So, yeah, we'll go over some of these figures today. I just want to make sure I see which ones did poorly so I can talk about that when we are into things. So let's see that one and that one. Okay. So the first figure of the week actually did the worst. The first, the second, and the final figures. And we'll talk a little bit about it. So we started off the week pretty strong, in my opinion, with, of course, I believe it's called the Rurudu Bunny Miku, aka just Heart Hands Miku, right? I friggin' love this one. I think it is possibly my favorite Miku Bunny Girl, and I've got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, one upstairs, nine Bunny Girl Mikus, and this by far has to be the best one. Um, I adore everything about it. I think, as you can see, this is the version that did not go up on YouTube. This is the not YouTube version because I had the cake all out. On YouTube, I had to cut away from the booty, and on TikTok, I had to cut away from the booty. You guys are seeing the Instagram version here today and the Twitter version. So you guys get to see all the cake. And this actually gave Miku some booty. So props. We didn't overly exaggerate her boobs or anything like that, which is fine. But we gave her some cake, and that's okay. So this one only got 11 views over here on YouTube, and that was kind of sad because Miku usually does really well, and I thought I had cracked it. So a little disappointing start to our Bunny Girl algorithm testing week, and again, another one of the things I like about the Buy Cute Bunnies line is I tout their praises all the time. They are a super affordable, incredibly awesome quality Bunny Girl figure. Again, I've got a couple of higher end pieces in the mix this week, so we can kind of compare them a little bit. But I think the Buy Cute Bunnies also, eh, 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 as opposed to other Bunny Girls, have a lot more personality added to them. They have a lot more variety to them as far as the costuming and what they all look like. And I love it. I think this one, the Rurudu Miku, is a really awesome take. Much like the the streetwear bunny Miku, which kind of has like a racing Miku vibe to it. Very, very cool. So I like when they kind of go outside the box and they do things a little bit differently. And this Miku, again, is no exception. I love the unique take on the ears. They're kind of not your typical bunny ears. They're more like loops that come up off her bow. It's really cool. The facial expression, again, knocks it out of the park. And just given the little heart hands, which I can't do for some reason. I don't know. My dexterity's not there apparently. But it's just such an awesome figure. And again, she's affordable. You're not paying hundreds of dollars for these. You're paying at most, unless you're buying them aftermarket, you're paying like 35 bucks at most. So they are tall. They're almost what? They're like 10 inches or more tall. They're pretty big. So highly recommend Miku. This is your first time seeing her on the channel. I don't blame you because only 11 people got to view this short because YouTube is assholes and they like to throttle things that are suggestive. Meanwhile, they push out OF content like they're handing out freaking crack pipes to people. But yeah, I was told by a YouTube chat person, real life girls are different than risque collectibles. I don't know. I don't know. That's what I was told. That's what I was told. I was told the algorithm is more harsh towards risque collectibles that are static than risque content creators that are in motion because it's interactive. And I'm like, yeah, interactive because dudes are gooning like crazy over these OF girls. But it's interesting to be told that. And I was told that not only by the YouTube automated chat that I was questioning, but I was also told it by 4 different AIs as well. So yeah, I'm gonna keep trying though. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep posting bunny girls because right there to YouTube and their new concept of throttling things. Again, my bunny girl reviews have thousands and thousands of views on the long form videos, let alone the short form. It's only been in the last like 2 years or so that I've noticed the trend where the more risque or revealing the costume is, the more the views get throttled. It's only something I've noticed over recent years. I could post a bunny girl that got 2,000, 4,000, 10,000 views 3 years ago, and I could post that figure now, newer camera, newer lighting, better looking quality, and it's going to get a handful of views. So something has changed in the YouTube algorithm and their AI monitoring that is now unjustly throttling collectibles and statues, which are technically they're considered art. An OF girl shaking her ass on a camera for people, it's not really art. That's just goon material, kind of softcore, corn. But I digress. Let's go to another one that actually seemed very problematic for YouTube, and it was Twin Tuesday. I gave you guys a duo. You got Rem and Rom in one shot. This was a little bit harder to shoot because there were 2 of the ladies and made it a little bit more difficult because I had to get them both into the short. But I used, again, the Buy Cute Bunnies, the OG bunnies, and I went with the white costume Rom and the black costume Rem because they came in different color sets. I think the white and the black pair a little bit cooler than having both of them just wearing the same black or the same white costume. I think it kind of makes them more individualized to have a different color scheme. So I have the same way with their By Cute Bunny China dress versions. I've got a red one and a red one and a blue one. So I like having the different colors. I think it makes them pop a little bit more. And again, just like with Miku, these two, man, it made me question doing a Bunny Girl week because these only were hovering at about 10 views. And I don't even know. Like, I, I I almost quit Bunny Girl Week. I almost did. But, the thing about these is this is not the only set of Rem and Rom we've got. I think we have three sets of Rem and Rom, other than color variants as well. We have these, we have the China dress ones, and we have like a more like lingerie looking kind of one. I only have the Rom for that set. I don't have the Rem. And then, of course, we're going to have the BiCute Darks and the BiCute Pures and all that. But for the Bunny Girls, I think those are the only three variations we've gotten so far. And they're really, really good, especially because, as I said before, the other options are your freeing bunny girls. And freeing bunny girls, you guys know, they're massive, right? They're quarter scale. But you're gonna pay in just in kind of a perspective here, you're gonna pay about $25 to $35 for a BiCute bunny, which goes, they're about 10 inches tall or taller if you got let's see, like albedo and stuff like that. You're going to pay at most $35 retail. Retail. If you guys go to a con, people be scalping these things for 60, $70. Do not ever pay that for a prize figure. Do not, guys. Freeing bunny girls, quarter scales, they're very, 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 very nice pieces to have. Also, my opinion, which I haven't bought any in a while, not as dynamic and expressive as the BiCutes. So freeings are going to run you $300 to $500 for the quarter scale bunny, and you can get something like this for a tenth of the price. So you can buy 10 BiCute bunnies for the price of one freeing bunny, and that's, I mean, obviously, unless you're looking at sales and ordering directly from Japan where they're like $150. So it is crazy. I know my quarter scale albedo was $450. And I got the BiCute bunny of her later, and I went, oh my God, the BiCute bunny looks more like albedo than the nearly $500 one. So it is something interesting. And again, I get people crapping on me all the time. I am mutuals with a lot of quarter scale bunny collectors, and they are rabidly like obsessive with them. And I'll get told all the time, why don't you get more? Why don't you get this free? Why didn't you get the freeing bunny? Why didn't you get the free? Because I don't have $500, $300 to spend on dozens of bunny girls. I'd rather spend $300 and buy a dozen bunny girls, right? And I know. Trust me, if I had the money, I probably would do it. But I work in a grocery store, guys. I work in retail. I do not make a lot of money, so I cannot have every single free and quarter scale bunny. Unfortunately, I'd like to, but at the end of the day, if I have an option of buying a quarter scale freeing bunny that I like, or the same character as a BiCute bunny, I'm gonna go with the BiCute bunny because I'm gonna be able to buy that BiCute bunny and 9 other BiCute bunnies for that one quarter scale figure. So my display is going to be a lot more varied and have a lot more variety to it than going with just um that one quarter scale. Again, is that damn bro? That's dog shit. What's dog shit, dude? My take on bunny girls is dog shit, bro. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight after this. I know where you. I no. I won't make joking threats on YouTube. I don't want to get or Twitch. I don't want to get the wrong idea. But no, I know him IRL. So it's just us. It's just riffing. Um, what are you talking about? What's dog shit? You're making me swear, man, on stream. I said I'm not gonna do that anymore. Wow, delayed. My bad. What were you delayed from? Okay, we're gonna put a pin in the bunny girls real quick. What were you delayed about? What was dog doo doo? What explain? Uh, The throttling conversation. Oh, okay. Oh, that does make a little bit more sense now, bro. That's you said that chat back then. Oh man. Yeah, no, that I agree with you on. I agree with you on that. Not these. These are not doggy do. Uh, but yes, I do agree with the throttling. That is crazy. Like I said, and just the feedback that I've gotten from all the different various things. I'm at work, LOL. Oh, so what, man, you must be having a bad connection at work, dude. Dude, you work at a computer or like on a computer. How are you having that? Oh, we're not gonna get into it. We're not gonna get into it. I'll talk about that with you later. Oh man, you yeah, your work's got to update their speeds, bro. So, anyways, they do have a very big quarter scale Miku. Dude, JT, I know you're trolling me with that. I just, but no, dude, I used to champion the free bunny girls. I have one, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12 because I have one still in the box. So I have a dozen of them. I still have Power from Chainsaw Man that I have to unbox. And then I think I'm all caught up on my quarter scale bunnies. But yeah, like Maureen I got for free. Yeah. I paid 420 bucks for her because it was Maureen and I wanted her. And I ordered it from Amazon and Amazon lost my package and they fully refunded me. And then a week and a half later, my package arrived. And I called customer service and I was like, hey, this arrived. Are you going to charge me for it? And they were like, oh no, it's already, your account's already been refunded. Discard it, do whatever you want. And I'm like, like, so yeah, I got her for free. So I can't really complain about that. I'm probably not gonna buy the quarter scale because that's like the second or third time they've printed that one, I think. So she's not. I don't really think a lot of the quarter scale anime figures are worth 300, $500 anymore. I just don't. I don't think they're that worth it. I said with the quality that prize figures have been tossing out lately, I just don't see the justification of spending 10 times more for just something that's bigger. And like I said, in the case of the freeing bunnies, sometimes they don't even look as good as the ByQ bunnies. So, but yeah. Next on the list, who was next? A bunny girl who actually did perform well, and it brought my hope back from the kind of depths. We brought a really cute, out of left field by cute bunny from a series. I'm surprised people actually remember. This is Yuna from Kuma Kuma Bear, or Kuma Kuma Bear Punch, the other series that came out. Now, this is one of the by cute bunny, or the freeing bunnies, that I actually think is unique. And it's only with the black suit version. The white costume version actually removed her puppets, her gloves from her hands. So I was a little shocked. And even with this one, I showed the booty on YouTube. And I don't know if it's because of the cutesy hand puppets, but it cleared all the algorithm checks and she did amazing. That made me very, very happy. She got 1.5K views. So as opposed to Rem and Rom, who were at 14, and Miku, who was at 11. Something about the cuteness and the hand puppets, I think, threw the algorithm off. And I know I got messages about her already that she's not a bunny. She's not a bunny. She's a bear. I know. Because she is a bear girl, okay? I get it. Just like Raftalia, her by cute bunny. Yes, she's not a bunny because she's got big giant ears. I know. But whatever. I think it's a cool little take on things. Instead of giving her the bunny ears, we gave her the teddy bear ears, and it just works. I love the awkward pose of this one. I love the super awkward, kind of embarrassed, shy look on her face. This is one they actually nailed. Except for the massive base that you can see. That is my biggest pet peeve about the freeing bunny girls. Is the bunny girls' feet are here in this circle, and the base is here. It's this big, massive thing. These bases actually fill my entire turntable. Another thing I hate about them, I think having something a little bit more compact, a little bit smaller, something like Kuji things do with just the blocks that go on the backs of the feet to hold them steady, would benefit a lot in the long run. But all in all, I think she is freaking adorable. And it's one of the only Yunas that we have. I don't want to say it's affordable because she wasn't really affordable. I mean, back when I ordered her, she was like $125. But we don't really have a lot of figures of her. We have a couple of pop-up parades. And they're super adorable too. I think I have them both. But I'll have to go down and look in my storage. But I think she's adorable. I think she came out good. And I tried to pick a kind of more obscure one to go with. And damn it, I guess that was a good choice because she popped that algorithm right back off. Um, the next piece was another one that did pretty well. And it's probably because her bunny costume is not your typical bunny girl costume. And you know I'm talking about my step on me mommy leather clad thigh high boot wearing mommy Makima from Chainsaw Man. Now, the Chainsaw Man by Cute Bunnies are interesting because they're more of a kind of casino cocktail server bunny girl kind of look. You'd see her in a Vegas hotel or something, right? I think the style is very under sexualized compared to your standard Playboy bunny look. And I think she came out really, really good. Um, Power, on the other hand, I think my biggest gripe with the Power one is just like with the freeing bunnies, the base is massive on Power, right? Makima just has your standard base. It's your standard ByQ base. I know. I see creators that have custom acrylic bases coming all the time, and bro, trust me, if I can afford to buy out custom bases for every freaking figure I own, you can tell me I'm doing good in life. Oh, but yeah, for right now, I have to kind of get the bases that I'm given because, uh, need a big girl, big boob girl like Makima, bitch. Wow. Damn, JT, tell me how you really feel, bro. You got aggressive right there with that one. I don't know if that was aggressively gooning over Makima or you were just aggressive that she's not big boobed enough. I'm confused, but either way, Makima looks great, and I still do have the other two Chainsaw Man by Cute Bunnies to face off against each other, which is going to be Reze versus Kobane. So that'll be an interesting one. I think you guys know who I'm gonna vote for even before I even unbox them. I've got my Reze preference, but yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Um, I wanted to do a ByQ bunny face off this week, but I had to post free run because it was already filmed. so um so yeah, I think the Makima here is cool because again, most of the ByQ bunnies are wearing a kind of like the Playboy style bunny suit. I'm looking at a bunch of them right now, other than like the variations, like the street style Miku and the China dress Rem and Rom, and the kind of like frilly lingerie looking Miku one, and the frilly lingerie Rem and Rom. All the other ByQ bunnies pretty much fall in that same um kind of category of the Playboy bunny girl. In my comment, not mean, she's just a goddamn. Oh, okay, okay, all right, I gotcha. Yeah, she's all of our favorite bitch, I think. That's why she's my step on me mommy, 100%. I have her autograph. I do. I have her voice actor's autograph. I met her and I was excited. But that was it for that one. And then we finished off the week with one. I gotta take a sip before I talk about this one because I might throw my cup. So to finish off the week, another character that's a favorite of mine that I do get a lot of crap for because she looks like a child. Okay. Um, and by looking like a child just means she's short and has small boobs, right? My pink-haired demon lord from Reincarnated as a Slime finished off the week. And if you know, you know. It's Lady Meline from the big freeing quarter scale bunny series. Now, this was actually my first quarter scale bunny. This is before I knew they made the bare leg versions and things like that, which she falls out of the mold from what I buy, and so does Maureen because they are both black suits with the tights. I like the black suits without the tights, with the bare legs, like I have Irina and Urza Scarlet, both bare leg versions. I waited for those. I am waiting for a Makima bare leg bunny as well. But as you can see here, I was called a PDF for liking Malim and everything else. And I say right here, a big explosive, F you to the people who say that. Lady Malim is a several thousand-year-old dragon demon lord. Yes, she acts kind of dumb, right? I guess you could say she acts childlike, but it pisses me off when people call me a PDF because I like Maline. Um, I like her whole character. Yes, I think her costume is super inappropriate, but it's a weird thing. I mean, my daughter, she's her favorite character in Slime too, and she's liked her for I don't even know since she was probably like 6 years old. She gravitated to her. She was like, I love her. She's so fun. I didn't have any. People used to give me crap all the time for letting my daughter watch Malim. I'm like, the thing about Malim is she has a inappropriate fit, right? She has an inappropriate fit, right? Her costume, but she never acts sexual. She never is portrayed by the other characters in a sexual light. She's never viewed in a sexual light. And I mean, I know they got fan service angles because it's anime, but she is one of those characters that dresses very provocatively that actually doesn't get portrayed provocatively. It's almost just like she doesn't know any better. Like, oh, okay, it's almost like the characters you see raised by wolves and things like that. Like they don't know, this is what they were raised in, whatever. Malim was raised as a dragon, right? So I think her by cute, or I think her not her by cute. Correction. I think her quarter scale bunny is really really nice. Another one I got for free. Funny story. Gigi and I actually did the unboxing for this one. One of the early videos on our channel. Um, yeah, wow. Go back and watch that one if you want to get a crazy reality check of how bad my videos really used to be. Um, when we unboxed her, and it's why I didn't do a view up here at the top of her head. All the top of her head right here is all scuffed and almost looks like it's wet, like water damaged almost. And it looks like it was put in the package while the paint was still drying and it all just kind of smeared. So, in that aspect, I complained and I ordered her from, oh God, I forget which store I ordered her from. But it was a Japanese retailer. And I complained. I was like, hey, she's defective. And they were really, really cool. It might have been Play Asia that I ordered her from all those years ago. And they were super cool about it. I sent pictures and I was like, look, I even sent a link to the YouTube video and I was like, look, my daughter and I unboxed her. This is how she came out of the box. And they were like, no problem. We're gonna give you a full refund. Just we're gonna sign her off as defective merchandise. So I got her refunded and she was free. But I love her bunny girl. I think the only thing that could have been a little bit cooler was they had like her eating the honey like in her relax time figure that I have where she's kind of sitting. She has the jar of honey in her hand and she's kind of got the honey going in her mouth. I think that, although then again, if they did that, that probably would have been overly sexualized, right? But I think she pairs really well because the Shion one is so massive and she doesn't have a base. So she can just kind of sit on Shion's base. In my display, I have some pink fluffy kind of like fabric, and she sits on that. So a very very cute bunny. And then they did re-release her as a bare leg, which I want to get and get rid of my tights version, but we'll see. JT said William is the younger sister of Rinru, same father, different mother. Is that no? Are are they? I I don't remember that. They're not. No, they're not. Bro, you're now you're trolling. I'm gonna have to actually go. I'm gonna have to. They're more like. I mean, I like adopted family maybe. They're not really. They're not related because of Eldora. They're more like cousins or something. But dude, are you talking about like they're they're in the world like lineage, or are you talking about like real? Because like Rimuru is a real person. He's like well, he's a real person. He's from Japan. I well, yeah, she's the because she's the uh Raya she's like real life related to him. Shizu. Spoiler alert. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I know some of it, but not all of it. I backed off. But yeah, she's real life Shizu is related to real life Rimuru. Yeah. But I didn't know how that made Malim related to them. But yeah, I maybe I didn't look that far. I was gonna say, as far as like Veldora and stuff are concerned, technically like they're adopted, parents or whatever. But I thought Slime was still ongoing. Oh wait, no, Slime did end. That's right. They've just been slacking on the English translations, like the English versions, and I actually buy them. So yeah, responding to somebody. See, but yeah, the manga's not. You're talking about the light novel, right? You're not talking about the anime. You're talking about the light novel or the manga. You're talking about the light novels, right? Because the light novel's finished, the manga's still ongoing, and the anime is still ongoing. So you're talking about the light novels, right? Okay. Yes. See, I don't read the light novels. That's just like with ReZero. I believe the light novels are way ahead of everything. Then the manga comes next. And I mean, no, the anime is next, and the manga is actually the one that's behind, if I'm correct. I believe that's the order it goes in. And it's all still ongoing, from what I believe. Okay, yeah, so you're talking about the light novel, not the manga. Okay. Yes, see, I have not caught up on the light novels. I don't read the light novels. I do the mangas and I do the anime. I gotta start picking up the light novels, but I just don't know if I have enough time to read all that. I got so many stuff, so many things I gotta catch up on. So those were the Bunny Girls, and just for the record, Lady Maline did perform bad, just like Miku and Rem and Rom at 12 views. So it is interesting to see that the traditional Bunny Girls did not perform well. So Rem and Rom, right? We'll go over this first. So we're gonna go a little out of order because if you notice, there's a trend here, and they are all at 11 to 13 views respectively. So Miku, traditional bunny girl costume with this actually super cute kind of bow tie, uh, shoes, by the way, super cute. Um, she had a more traditional bunny girl suit with a little bit more bells and whistles with kind of the bows here and stuff like that, right? Rem and Rom had traditional bunny girls. Okay. All of this, both these, 11 to 13 views, 11, 12, and 13 views, respectively. And then we had Lady Malim, standard bunny girl, standard look, kind of a playful look on her face, right with the finger going on there, 12 to 13 views. Now we shift over to something that wasn't so conventional with this one, with Yuna and her little puppets, giving it a more cutesy look. She's still wearing the Playboy bunny outfit, but I think the addition of the puppets throws it off. I think me starting with the puppet in your face right there threw the algorithm off a little bit. And I'll take that as a win. And then, of course, we had Makima, who was not in a traditional bunny girl suit, basically wearing shorts and a tank top. Scroll right on by that algorithm check. So it is very interesting to see. I think it is something that the bunny girl suits are still a problem. But it is strange because previously on the channel, we did. This is why I brought on Bunny Girl Week. We did the Buy Cute Bunny Asuna, which only had 13 views. Again, that magic number, 13, right? But before that, we did Kaguya from Kaguya-sama that almost got 1,000 views. So it's definitely off. The algorithm is weird, right? So I can't figure it out. But those were all the bunnies that I highlighted. So what I always do is at the end of the figure segment, I give my favorite high end and my favorite low end. So this week I had two higher ends, which were the Freeing Malim and the Freeing Yuna from Kuma Kuma Bear. Now, I know my Lady Malim had some defects in her, but I gotta give my favorite of the higher ends to Lady Malim, even though Yuna is so unique as opposed to the rest of the freeing bunnies. I gotta give it to Malim, and it's my favoritism of the character. And in this figure, they actually did give her some boobage a little bit, so props to you guys for giving her a little bit of stuff there. Some figures, she's very, very much flat. And they gave her that cake. So I got to give it to Freeing for caking her up and boobing her up. Good job, guys. As far as the lower end stuff, it's going to be between Makima, Rem, Ram, and Miku. And you already know who I'm going to give it to. My lower end pick is going to definitely go to the Heart Hands Miku. I love Miku. This is one of my favorite Miku figures. And I got to take this off because the straps, I don't have my glove on, so the straps are just digging into my arm. So yeah, I gotta take the gauntlet off. I made it for an hour. I gotta take my gauntlet off. Oh, yeah, these straps just be digging into my arm right now. I don't know if you can see all the marks on my arm right here, but oh yeah, I had to take my gauntlet off. So I gotta actually work on it some more. I gotta kind of shape this some more so it gets a little rounder. And I want to put something inside here, like maybe some color, so it looks more orange, like there's going to be an explosion when you got your hand out. But yeah, I got some work I got to do still. But it was a fun experience. It was a fun experience. So um, obviously I got to ask everyone here in the chat and in the VODs afterwards, who your picks of the week were. Um, excuse me. I muffled that one. Whew, I wasn't quick enough to hit the mute button, but I muffled that one. Oh man, that made my eyes water. Oh, excuse me. um, yeah, that is these. Let's see. Anime is just going to the Western War, bro. So very far from that. Spoilers. Wait, if they have that in the anime or they cut it. Makima and Miku for real. Okay, so you got Makima and Miku. I say a higher end and a lower end, but you went two lower ends. That's okay because you know what? You save yourself some money if you go with the lower end stuff. So pick all of them. No need to choose. Make a harem. Well, I mean that's kind of what I've done. I mean, hold on. I can do this, but you're gonna see a bunch of stuff that I'm moving right now. I have taken some time the past couple days after the convention and stuff, and I've been ripping apart stuff in my house and trying to reorganize again. So some of my haul stuff is still on the floor here. You're gonna see a little bit of a mess. But yeah, I mean, I've got my harem of bunny girls, one of my shelves over here. I'll be able to turn the camera a little bit so you can see it. Just don't mind the mess. Let's see. See if I can do this. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Oh no, it won't let me turn any further. As you can see, there's some of my bunny girl harem right there. Um, two giant shelves, and then two other shelves, and then I've got more shelves of bunnies too. But yeah, those are my bunny girls. Some of them for right now, where they go. Let's hope I can twist this without it falling. Oh god, that's so bright now. I have to lower this too. All right, I think I'm back in view. All right. Do the room tour. As you can see, there was still stuff kind of stacked up over there. So, yeah, we can do. I'm working on that right now, getting all that out from all the haul videos and migrating it over to my other room. And then I still have to get my new shelf built for right across from where I am, which has all my heavier stuff, like my X-Men Polystone and stuff like that, and my Avengers Polystones. All that's got to get all reworked and moved. And then I think we'll be almost ready. Other than I have a bunch of figures like where I just moved the camera to. I have a bunch of figures that are just all over the floor. Um, I'll need to make 3 videos. If I was to do walkthroughs of every one of my shelves, and actually get like every shelf in so you guys could see. Like even if I spent, 15 seconds per shelf tier so you can see all the different figures on them. I mean, you gotta think I got 14 glass cases in this room, two bookcases, and then a giant 5 foot long metal rack as well. So just this room alone, and then I have all the stuff on the tops of all the shelves. But as you saw, the quarter scale bunnies are over there on top of all my shelves. On these shelves behind me, I have all like more expensive sideshow pieces and stuff like that. Um, and then I've got in the dining room, I have one, two, three, and a fourth one I just put together of giant bookcases. In the living room where I game stream from, I have one, two, three, four shelves. In the upstairs, in my bedroom area where all my video games, a lot of my video games go, I have one giant shelf of video games, two giant shelves of video games, and then I have one, two, three big bookcases, a short bookcase, a bunch of figures all on my desk, a bunch of figures that line my headboard. Yes, I know, very cringy, I know. um, and then we've got all Gigi shelves as well. So my she's got two shelves of Funko Pops that we're clearing out because she's getting rid of all of her unboxed Funko Pops. She has one, two, three giant bookcases in her room. She has another glass case of K-pop stuff. She has another big couple shelves of Monster High stuff. So yeah, it would have to be like a long form video. It would have to be like one of those clickbaity like $100,000 anime collection, something like that. I mean, honestly, that probably wouldn't be that far off. I mean, I've been collecting for over 20 years, so I've been collecting figures and statues for that long. I've been collecting figures and collectibles for maybe 10, 15 years. So it hasn't been as long, but and then I would have to do a separate video, JT, of all the still in box merch that I have everywhere, which is two entire closets full, one, two, three, four, five, six massive shelves full, and then everything on the floor over here, and then a double door in a closet filled too. So yeah, I'd have to make a 3 video series probably, but it would be kind of crazy. It would be kind of crazy. I don't know how I would do it. I don't know how I would do it. Um, it'd be a video though. Once I get everything where I want it to be, I think I'll do it. I think later on in the year, once my living room gets redone, still fighting with the contractors about that. We'll go to rearranging everything again and get everything where I want it to. But right now, with the house kind of in disarray, it's hard for me to get things placed where I want them because I want to keep the living room. I want to turn the living room into more of my collectibles, and I want to move all my gaming stuff upstairs. Damn, my house must be huge, bro. You've been to my house before. You know my house ain't huge. I mean, it is less messy than it used to be. Um, and I do have more space. When you get rid of a person living in your house, and all their stuff, you do have more space. But now, unfortunately, I've filled that space up. So the ex moves out and takes all her shit, and unfortunately, I've filled all that empty space with more collectibles, more happiness, right? Um, I'll wait, bro. I've been waiting almost 2 years. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, like I said, with all the stuff going on over the past couple of years. I mean, between the house being ripped apart and moving things around and buying new furniture and buying new stuff and doing all this. Yeah, it's been a long haul. And when you do content creation and you have a full-time job and you have a kid and you're trying to date, yeah, it's tough it is tough to find all the time to get everything done. Like I said, I mean, I would love to be able to shift to just content create full time, but when that does happen, I'm not saying if, I'm saying when, because I'm still hopeful it's going to happen. But when I'm able to shift to content creation more on a full time basis, you're going to be seeing a lot more crazy stuff go on. So fingers are still crossed that by the end of the year, I at least get monetized. That's kind of my goal. So once that all happens, that shift, we'll be doing a lot more kind of crazy stuff, things like giveaways, all that good stuff. So I have one, two, three, four, five, six massive. I mean, like my shipment boxes that I get, like these big, massive boxes. I have like six, maybe eight boxes of just stuff that I don't want and I don't collect. That's just all random stuff that I'm going to just start using for giveaways on the channel and things like that. But again, I want to wait until I hit my monetization. Once I hit monetization, celebration, we're going to be giving away some figures. I have things. I have Funko Pops. I have prize figures. I have scale figures. I have, yeah, a bunch of stuff that I'm going to be using for giveaways. Kind of like celebrate once the channel kind of does get where I want it to go. Bro, I'm poor too. That's why I don't want to give all of it away. Trying to sell a lot of it too. But yeah, I have some Zenoscope Snow Whites. They're Bishojos. I have a couple of those I'm gonna use for giveaways. Those are gonna kind of be one of the higher giveaways that I do, which will probably be a giveaway for like members only and stuff like that. I have a bunch of like smaller like chibi figures. I have a bunch of blind bag figures that I've got multiples of. I've got can badges, pins, wall scrolls. I don't know. I should literally do a video. I might do a video of all the different crap I have that I want to use for giveaways, just so people can kind of get a vibe for it. Right now, they're kind of all and like locked up in like my outer area of my house in big giant boxes. But yeah, I have tons of stuff, and if I can't, I wanted to sell it all in bulk, and if I can't sell it all in bulk, I'm just going to start using it for giveaways. But I have like reincarnated slime figures, quintessential quintuplet figures. I've got just ones that I either already have, I had doubles of from like Japanese claw games and stuff online, or like ones that I got from my ex that I was like, why did you get me this? I don't collect these, and things like that. So just stuff I just want to offload because I have way too much extra stuff. White shorts cards, I'm just gonna start kind of doing like random things like that, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I do have plans, J2. I do have plans, but bro, that's what I keep telling you, man. I know you always beg, you always ask for giveaways. You've been good though. You haven't been asking for giveaways lately, but it is something I want to do. It's just I don't want to. If it makes sense, I don't want to give a bunch of crap away for free when I don't make anything from doing this. Once I make stuff doing this, I'm gonna be doing like at least monthly giveaways. And I'm gonna sneeze again. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, once I get there, we're gonna start doing giveaways. And like I said, hopefully it's something that's gonna happen soon. But I don't know. We'll find out. Fingers crossed. And yeah, I'm also gonna be trying to do some networking. I've reached out to a couple of creators. I know in 2 weeks, the return, so you guys know, the return of my one-time co-host that was falling asleep here on the channel, the Gigi Monstar. My daughter's going to be back, possibly for next week's stream, actually. So we might have my co-host might be back next week. So I got to make sure I cover some figures this week that she likes. That's why I brought back my Miku Monday this week started strong with the very super cute, fancy Miku. So, um, yes, next week expect the return of the GG Monstar. We're gonna have daddy daughter streams. Yeah, that's the thing, JT, is I gotta figure out, like I said, logistics with giveaways and stuff like that. I don't know. I might have to limit them to US people, and then I might have to do something for like people that are not in the US and do like giveaways where I either buy something, like I can place the online order or something like that. That's the other thing with giveaways is like the logistics of shipping and stuff. But again, if my channel is monetized and I do giveaways and I have to pay to ship things, that all becomes tax write-offs. So it's okay. But yeah, I have to figure that out. Like I said, I have to figure out all the logistics. I also want to do something on the gaming side for the game streams where every month I want to do a giveaway where I give away a copy, digital or whatever, probably a digital copy of a game that I stream. I'd rather give away physical copies, but if people are in other countries and stuff like that, I would do digital codes. But yeah, it's like I said, it's stuff down the line on the channel that I'm shooting for. So it's kind of things to look for down the line. But again, I can't justify giving a bunch of stuff away if I'm not making any money. So you know, just one of those things. so so yeah, we'll see how it happens. Give me 1 second here. I have to check something. Here's a video. Well, getting a video is unavailable error message. You guys are seeing me, right? You guys are seeing it. You guys are good, right? You guys are seeing me, right? You guys are hearing me? I see chats going still. All right, I'm getting an error saying stream is unavailable. Give me a minute here. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. All right. Sorry, that was weird. uh, yeah, dude. The PlayStation disc thing, Loud Boy has been going. I mean, it's gonna stay going until 2028 when it actually happens, and you know what's gonna happen is Xbox is gonna follow suit. I think they're just holding fast on pulling the trigger. I think it's coming for Xbox. Xbox is gonna go all digital too. Xbox is kind of already there. Um, But yeah, we do have some topics to talk about today. But first, let me since we did anime, waifu, we did figures, let's talk a little bit about some happy news, right? Some good stuff. Okay? Let's talk about good stuff. So you guys know this weekend I took the weekend off and I went to an anime convention out in Hartford, Connecticut. One of it started out when it started as one of my least favorite cons to go to because the dealer room was so small. Back then, I was always looking at dealer rooms and getting deals. Um, but now, as I've gotten less into buying figures at conventions, because most dealers way overcharge, I've grown to love the convention a lot more. So that was obviously, like I said, Kineticon out in Hartford over the weekend. And it's, I think, one of the longest running smaller conventions in New England. I know we have, I think it's been going longer than Anime New York, Anime Boston, things like that. So it's been going for a long time. I have friends who used to work at it and volunteer at it all the time, and I used to just go and hang out. But it is been blowing up to a point now where Saturdays it's a 2 hour, 3 hour wait to get in sometimes. So Saturday I skipped the con, did a bunch of other stuff here around the house I had to do. We had crappy weather. It was reporting that there was 3 hours to get in, so I didn't go on Saturday. And my costume stuff, some of the stuff still hadn't arrived yet to finish off my Wolverine Bakugo mashup, which obviously you guys saw I didn't get to do because some of my stuff came and it came messed up. Um, Why do you feel bad for people attending East Show cons? Dude, East Show cons are good. East Coast East Coast cons. I think that's what I said, or did I say East Show cons? I don't know, whatever. Yeah, English. East Coast cons are good. We got a lot of good ones. But this one in particular, I always used to call it Nerd Hangout Convention because this was before all the cosplay boom was really going when this started, and it was mostly a show that people went in costume and cosplayed and took photos and hung out. Less about all the dealers and stuff like that, which is what I always went to conventions for. So, um, I got a little photo. I got a little photo drop I could share, like photo dumps. I can share some pictures. We can look at my photo galleries. I did like a little like stylized video, but I don't want to play it because the copyright music. But yeah, I can show. I can show some of the stuff at it. I went on Sunday, not the busiest day, but it's also the cheapest day to attend. Usually, you get the best deals on Sunday. That's why I always tell people go on Sunday, unless there's things that you really want to do on Saturdays, right? Why do I always wear a hat? Well, because I had surgery on my head, so I have a bald spot right here from where I had a surgery on my head. Um, so yeah, I wear a hat. But yeah, I mean, I've got long hair. I do. I've done hair reveals on stream before, dude. This was because I was going to be in my wig earlier, and then my wig wasn't working. Yeah, see, my wig kind of poofed out a little bit. Hold on, ready? So yeah, my Bakugo wig kind of wasn't really because I see where I got all flat right here, where I had my gauntlet sitting on it in the car. So I have to actually like restyle all the wig back out. I have to like redo it all. So yeah, it's kind of all over the place right now. But yeah, that's why I had it in a ponytail. But no, like when I'm at work, when I'm at work, I rock a ponytail at work. Like I'll gel my hair back and I do a ponytail at work. Yeah, I know. I used to have like crazy huge spiky hair, like an anime character. And then, like I said, I had a surgery up here on the top of my head, and they promised me that the skin graft would actually fix my hairline and everything, and it didn't, and it made everything worse. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's weird seeing me with like my hair. Like when I go to Ren Fair and stuff, this is how I always look. I always got like my ponytail or like my hair is down and I've got my Assassin's Creed cloak on. But yeah. Yeah, I know. Ooh, it's a lot cooler without a hat on, that's for sure. Like when I go to the beach, obviously I've got my hair, that's and a ponytail, whatever. But yeah, everyone at work sees me and I got my ponytail, whatever. I just started rocking it back out. I started going to a lot more concerts. Headbanging with your long hair is a lot easier. But yeah, like I said, because I kind of do it to disguise the bald spot I have right here. I have so the little bit of real life lore. I had a big cyst here on the top of my head and scar tissue from when I was younger, and it made my hairline go all weird directions, and I hated it. So I went and I got surgery on my head to remove the big growth and the scar tissue and have a skin graft. So they had to shave all on top of my head right there, and they had to replace, skin graft my skin, get rid of the scar tissue. And they promised me, oh yeah, your hair's gonna grow back. And it was in like my late 20s, and the hair never grew back. So I gave up and I started just wearing hats, and then I started growing it out during COVID when you couldn't get your hair cut anywhere, and just started rocking my long hair. Good seeing you, JT, man. Hey, make sure to pop in tomorrow. We're gonna be gaming again. But yeah, so that was hair reveal. Now I can go back to normal. So yeah, I still have another thing I have to get removed on the back of my head here, but I don't want a bald spot right here on the back of my head. That's what I told him. I'm like, if you can get rid of this and not make me have a giant bald spot in the back of my head, like I'm cool. But for right now, I just kind of leave it. I have a big I mean, I can push on it right here. I have a big giant like cyst on the back of my head. I've had it since I was a kid. I mean, it's always been there. Um, but yeah. So there's a little bit of the lore behind why I wear hats. Yeah, I know. It's weird. I actually, yeah, dude, damn, it looks so different like with and without the hat. um, but yeah, that's kind of the lore. That's the lore of why I wear hats. Because I had surgery that messed up my hair and my head, and I don't like it. So someday I'll be able to afford, a hair transplant or something and get the surgery spot fixed. But I don't make asthma gold money. So but yeah, let's go over some of the stuff. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys a little bit of the photo dumps from the convention. Do I have an All Might True Form cosplay wig? No, I don't. I just have Bakugo. So, yeah, here we'll go over to the browser and I'll show you guys. I'm gonna just go over to my Instagram because I don't have the photos here on my computer. Whew. But yeah, as you can see here, I'm posted. There was me and my makeshift Bakugo that I kind of messed up. As you can see, my wig got a little messed up. Um, but yeah, it was a good convention. Obviously, there's some awesome cosplayers here. This was an epic Lune, and yes, she did have her bare feet out for those guys who like feet. Instagram cropped the feet though. This was probably my favorite costume of the convention. This dude, I've seen him at Ren fairs before, and I was like, bro, I saw you at the Connecticut Ren Fair. And he's like, yeah, like my daughter took a picture with you. And then he remembered me because I was like, yo, I was in the Connor Assassin's Creed costume. And he's like, oh my God, yeah, you didn't have your hidden blade. I was like, that's everyone always remembers that I don't have my hidden blade. So it was a pretty decent sized event. I mean, this is just kind of I don't know why it didn't do the long way, but yeah, that's just Instagramming. Obviously, I mean, you can see it was kind of sardine packed with people. And this is a Sunday, so this is in the vendor hall. I had to take this for Gigi. This is a mother daughter right here. They were super awesome. Uh, because Gigi's favorite character is Ellen, so I had to take a picture of them. And then this, of course, I screamed out, "Where's Jet Jaguar?" And he immediately like knew what I was talking about. Put his helmet on and he posed. Dude made it all out of freaking like cardboard and foam, freaking and paper mache. Freaking looks awesome. Of course, I had to take pictures of every Patty and Liz because I'm a Soul Eater fan. This costume actually is probably one of my favorites of the show too. And I'm not even a huge Junji Ito fan. Gigi is, but that came out awesome. And again, more Patty and Liz. Shout out, my favorite shop was there. Unsettled Geeks. Those guys were there. So this right here. So this cosplay, I talked with this girl at quite a bit. Just so you know, this is Maka from Soul Eater, but this is actually from the latter part of the manga. The anime did not go into this, so that's why we're getting probably getting an anime reboot. But yes, this is actually a costume from the later portion of the Soul Eater manga. Uh, this Deku, this guy was really cool, man. He actually chased me down for some pictures later on. He did an awesome Vigilante Deku. Some Freerin, Fern. We got a little cross-play of Sturk here. We got some Persona cosplayers. We got some more My Hero cosplayers. So as you see over here on this side, we had like they had tables set up for like card tournaments and like food areas, things like that. This I don't know why this zoomed in like this. This is actually they have cosplay wrestling. They have an actual wrestling ring there, and the guys are like wrestlers, and they go in and they put on shows for people. As you can see, it was pretty crowded all around the wrestling ring. It was kind of just like one of the clearing areas. People were taking pictures. The stairwells are just everyone just sitting and chilling, where all the people use the escalators. Yeah, it's a good show. I love the show. And then I got some more pictures here of obviously some reses. Had to take a selfie, of course, because she's an amazing, Amazing cosplay, amazing reze. I got my loot. I got my loot. Got my Sukuna. Had to take a picture of R.I.P. Sam Neill, man. Take a picture of our Jurassic Park cosplayers. This was epic. I told the guy because he actually had a busted leg, and I was like, "Bro, I'm sorry. Can I take a picture? Like, this is awesome." He had the little cutout right here, so obviously it's a gotcha cutout. Like, so awesome. I had to show Gigi that I talked to Excel's voice actress, Jessica. Very, very sweet girl. I was going to get her autograph for Gigi, and Gigi said, "No, you wait until I'm there." So, and again, they had a whole big gaming area where they have a bunch of gaming PC like stuff and consoles all set up. You guys can sit down, you can play. It's all free. These two, kind of funny story. These two were not there together. They just saw each other randomly and they were taking pictures together. But that awesome, awesome duo. And there's me, of course, with one of my favorite Makima cosplayers. Yeah, and again, obviously you can see my costume was not done. I just kind of rushed and did it. But that was pretty cool, dude. The cosplayer wrestling, dude went over the ropes into everybody else. So it was like actual wrestling. Probably the best Yuta cosplayer I've seen in forever. And there's kind of at the end of the con, everyone's kind of cycling out. There's me with Deku. Obviously, my boots still weren't done yet because I painted them. And yeah, I smeared all the paint thinking it was dry. So I had to remove all the paint and repaint them, and they weren't dry for the morning of the convention. So yeah, and there's a couple Dekus. We were in there. An awesome present, Mike. I thought that was freaking rad. And of course, I had to find a Miku, and it was this girl's birthday, so pretty cool. Panty and stocking. There's kind of the outside, just outside the con. Everyone's just outside taking photos. I mean, everyone's like, and then the quads kind of just chilling. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a really good time. I love going to the show. Like I said, it was my first time kind of doing it in costume. Any good gotchas in event? You mean like gachapon machines? Some of the vendors had like rows of them at their booths. Well, no, I have my boots. They're actually they're outside right now in my porch because they're drying and they smelled. But I have like I bought black like rain boots almost, and I actually painted the orange kind of going down on them to highlight like Bakugo's boots. And yeah, I thought they were dry, and I grabbed them, and then I dropped the other one, and all the paint kind of just scuffed all up and smeared all up. So I had to remove all the paint, clean all the scuffs up, and I kind of had to reapply the paint. So they're actually out drying right now again. Hopefully they turn out all right. But because originally I wasn't going to do full on Bakugo, I was going to just do, um, like I showed you guys earlier, I was going to do Bakugo Wolverine. So the wig that I got, this wig, I was actually supposed to style up like with Wolverine, style hair. So I was supposed to turn this into Wolverine style. So I was supposed to bring all this up, but then I realized it wasn't long enough when I got it. And shout out, Amazon actually gave it to me for free. So then I kind of had to like last minute like try to style it out, and then it got flattened out when I was in my car, had my window open, and the wind kept whipping it right here. So it got wind whipped, and yeah. So next time I will have it crimped, and I'll have it actually like properly styled and stuff like that. Yes, I know. I do know a little bit about doing stuff with hair. I used to spike out all my hair. so so yeah, I'll re-go through all of it and do all that. And then I did. Obviously, we saw one of the pictures. I got some loot, not much loot. One vendor at the entire convention was selling things at retail price, and that was Unsettled Geeks. Shout out Unsettled Geeks. Still my favorite shop in the area. Well, 45 minutes or so from me, but still my favorite shop to go to. I got my Sukuna figurism to go against the general. So I have his companion piece now, finally. So, and I only paid retail. He was 27 bucks. And then one I've been dying to get, and I got her for 25 bucks. I've been so looking forward to this one. Look at that artwork. Look at that artwork. The Sega Figurism Punk Miku. I am so freaking excited. I don't know who I'm going to prize figure face off her against. I might actually face her off against the Gundam Miku. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think this would be a good face off? Gundam Miku versus Punk Miku? I think this might be a good face off. I think this might be a good matchup. Punk Miku versus Gundam Miku. Two totally different styles. Two different. Well, actually, no. Yes, they are, because this is actually Ban Presto. So this is Bandai. So Bandai versus Sega. I don't know, man. This might be a face-off right here. Because I in the previous face-off, I did the Miku Fashion series, which was the Punk Miku and the Fancy Miku. I don't know which one I like it. I haven't taken on the boxes yet. And then I also have, of course, to go up against Sukuna. I've got our general over here because this is actually the companion piece that goes with Sukuna. It's supposed to be where they're fighting each other. So yeah, pretty excited. Pretty excited. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't get too much loot. I didn't have to spend too much money, which was always a good thing. There were some more expensive pieces that I did want, but people were charging so much money for them, and that's kind of the thing about conventions. I do always warn people about is um, be careful at conventions, and I don't mean that in like a dangerous way. I just mean it as be careful of your spending at conventions. I saw a bunch of I'm gonna say kids, younger people younger than me, right? That are probably like it's their first con, whatever. And here they are grabbing like, they're grabbing something like this, and they're charging $60 for this, and it's like, bro, you can get it from GameStop for $30, like right on their website right now. You can go into a GameStop store and get it for $30. Like you can get it on Amazon or something for $30. Like, do not overpay at a convention because you want to buy something at the convention. I literally talked someone out. They had this in their hand. A girl had this in her hand at the convention. And she was like, oh my God, I need to get this one. Oh my God. And she's like telling her friend. And I was like, I looked at the price tag and it was $60, $65 at the convention. And I was just like, excuse me. I don't mean to interrupt you. I go, you seem really excited. And I grabbed my bag and I pulled it out of my bag and it had the $27.99 price tag on it right here. And I go over to this booth, Unsettled Geeks over here. They got them at retail. And the vendor looked so pissed at me. And I was like, yo, not being I go, no disrespect, they're way overcharging. And she just looked and she's like, and she put it down and she goes, where's that booth? And I was like, right at the back. And she's like, thanks. And her and her girl ran off. And then I actually saw her later and she got her Sukuna. She was like, yeah. She was like, oh my God, Bakugo, wait. I was like, what's up? She's like, thank you so much. She's like, oh my God, you saved me so much. She goes, I got two figures. And that was the thing. So I always tell people, like, when you go to a convention, kind of set a spending limit for yourself. It's always smart to do. And then B, kind of have an idea. I'm not going to say do your homework, but have an idea of what things should cost, right? Yes, don't overspend. Exactly. Limit your spending on statues and don't overspend. Um, but again, most of the vendors go 25 to 50% over retail at a convention. And I get it. It's because they got to pay for their booth. They got to pay for their travel. They got to pay for their stay. They got to pay for their hotel. They got a lot of expenses. I get that. But for example, and I've told the story before, in the older days, in the good old days of conventions when they weren't as popular, you would go on a Sunday to a convention and it would be like fire sale. All the vendors would be like, 25% off everything, 50% off everything, buy one, get one free, because they want to get rid of the merch so they don't have to keep traveling with it, right? And nowadays, there's 75 cons going on every weekend. So the vendors don't really have to worry about it. They just go, oh, okay, well, we'll pack it up. We'll bring it to the next show tomorrow or next week. So it is one of those things where I miss when the conventions weren't as popular because you got better deals. Rather than overcharging, you went to conventions to actually get deals. So it kind of sucks. But as everything that gets popular, that's just it's just how it works, man. It sucks. As things get more popular, they get more expensive. As they get into more demand, they get more expensive. That's just what happens. I remember those good old days. I spent too much money on JK Studios One Piece Garage Kit statue. Yeah, I think you've been with me to a couple conventions back in the day. That's right. Did you ever go with me to? Did you ever go with me to Philly? Sorry, I almost just knocked my mic down. Did you ever do Philly with me? I don't remember. I've been to done PhillyCon so many times. I don't remember if you ever went on one of the trips with us. Yes, I know him. Like I said, IRL, I know him. No, never did Philly. Okay, all right. But yeah, we've gone to a couple of shows together. I had a couple of convention running buddies that we used to go to. But yeah, I mean, it's what I said. The last day of the show now is obviously just a cheaper day to go. So like for ConnectiCon, it cost me $45 to go for Sunday. But it was also a shorter convention day. It was 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So as Saturday was $65 and it was 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then they had after hour stuff going on. So it all kind of depends. But Sunday's usually the day where you get the best deals. And, unfortunately nowadays you don't really get that many deals. My cord from my headphone, which is wrapped around my leg. So yeah, it's one of those things I wish we could go back to, but I do understand these conventions they do not come cheap. The vendors do not get their space for cheap. It's thousands of dollars for a table. So you got to upcharge all your merch to make your table money back. I get it. So, but it sucks. So that was it for the fun news, the fun topic. Killed a little bit more time than I wanted to with the convention talk, but um, now it's time to just kind of kill the mood. It's time to get into the time to get into the crappy news. Let's talk nerd news. And oh boy, where do I want to start? We can talk about something that actually isn't terrible news. And I guess we can say that we can say it's not terrible news because um it's actually a pretty good thing. Let's go to the first thing that I said we were going to talk about, and that is let's discuss quickly the Odyssey. So movie came out. That was uh no one ever thought it was going to lose money, right? So if people did, then they're idiots. So the Odyssey came out. There was a lot of controversy over the casting. There was controversy over if Nolan can pull off an epic fantasy. Christopher Nolan is literally the only one of the only directors in Hollywood still that can pull an audience based off his name alone. I mean, you have Spielberg maybe, but he's kind of fallen off a lot as he's gotten older, and James Cameron with Avatar movies. That's really it. There aren't a lot of directors that can put butts in the seats based off of just their name. I mean, we've seen that with James Gunn and his movies. None of his stuff has been making profits lately. R.I.P. DCU. Um, but but Nolan doing the Odyssey was something that I was a little skeptical about as well. I am in the minority where I think his Batman movies were not the god tier that everyone puts them at. I think Batman Begins was phenomenal, and I think the other films after were not as good. I think Heath Ledger stole the entire show in obviously Dark Knight, but other than that, it was a really mid movie. I think the final Batman movie that he made was god awful. We should Spider-Man 3 that, shelve it, and never talk about it ever again. So, but he did also make Oppenheimer, which was phenomenal and did very, very well. So when they announced that he was doing the Odyssey, I was a little skeptical because he keeps things very grounded, very realism. He's very realism focused, and I was very skeptical. And then the casting started to come out, and I got even more skeptical, right? And no, I have not yet seen it. I actually watched Troy with Brad Pitt this weekend instead of watching The Odyssey. So, there were, a lot of the hate tubers talking bad about it and everything else. There were a lot of the shill channels, obviously gobbling the knobs for it. So you had your two different dynamics, as social media always is, going and doing their typical thing, right? The only thing is that with the hate tubers, at least they said, I'm going to probably hate this movie, but it's going to make all the money. And that's what I said about it. I said, this movie could be the worst movie that comes out this year, and it's still going to make all the money because of the cast and who's directing it. And, well, according to Deadline, it did kind of make all the money. All the money. Okay, sorry. Sorry, you guys got a little bit of echo there. I had to do a mic check. So let's go over here. The Odyssey conquers with a 264 million around the world. Best ever box office for Christopher Nolan, ahead of Dark Knight Rises. And this is updated on Sunday, so this isn't even fully Monday yet. Odysseus' boatload of cash from his global voyage just got bigger, with Universal's Christopher Nolan epic The Odyssey raking in 264.1 million worldwide, a record start for the director, ahead of Dark Knight Rises, which had 249 million worldwide. The foreign start of that's a lot, 139.6 million is also the director's biggest international opening ever, ahead of Oppenheimer and The Dark Knight Rises in like-for-like markets. The Odyssey bowed in 73 territories, 12,700 locations, and 25,600 screens. Still the second best star for an R-rated movie abroad after Deadpool and Wolverine. I think they meant start, not star. In addition, it's Universal's biggest opening ever in 11 markets, and Nolan's biggest in 48 countries, including France, Italy, India, Spain, Brazil, the Netherlands, and Poland. With the Odyssey, we had the extraordinary opportunity to unite moviegoers worldwide around a story that has resonated across cultures for centuries. Christopher Nolan's passion, vision, and unique cinematic voice consistently drive anticipation and attendance in a truly global scale. That's what I said. His name can put butts in seats still. And it did. He, alongside the force that is Emma Thomas, continues to set standard for ambitious event filmmaking. The Odyssey is that kind of rare movie that brings audiences together across every market in a shared cultural moment. While the UK France third place World Cup game yesterday slowed evening business in the former, the Odyssey was still a big result for Nolan there. Uni has factored the impact of the final Spain Argentina World Cup game with Spain. Yeah, so it's going to be soccer got in the way of movies. Okay, obviously. So the first ever theatrical release shot in IMAX entirely counted 51.8 million from the large format exhibitor screens, with 6.3 million coming from 41 screens with 70 millimeter at 155,000 screen average. North America alone counted 29.6, repping close to 24% of the market share weekend from 444. Woo. So yeah, basically they released this movie in a bunch of different formats and they all kind of sold out, right? The 70 millimeter sold out everywhere for like, I think it's like booked out for a month. The IMAX is kind of sold out almost everywhere, right? And it's like your standard viewings are, kind of, yeah. So I'm not going to get too far into that. Right? I just wanted to touch on it because it did whale at the box office. Like it hit a home run, right? There is no way to there's no way to even kind of downplay it how well it did. So according to Box Office Mojo right now, we are still hovering at 263,799 or no, $263,799,900. So we are at almost $264 million over the opening weekend. That's pretty freaking good. That's a lot of money. That's all the money. Crap, I just accidentally closed my tab and I got to find the tab. Okay, there we go. All right. All right, cool. I just had to make sure I closed out the wrong tab. All right. So there was some more good news. I mean, good news. I usually talk about bad news on the channel for movies. So Hollywood is saved. It's not. But I think with Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday, we're going to have some pretty heavy hitters this year in the movie theater. Not like, Moana, which we talked about last week, and completely just freaking fell off the map everywhere. Terrible, horrible movie that no one cares about. So let's go ahead now. And it's funny. One side note here on the Odyssey stuff is it is funny because I've been kind of going back and forth on Twitter with people about it, right? And people are talking, about how I didn't like the movie, but I went and saw it twice. And it's like, after my second viewing, I still didn't like the movie. And it's like, here's the thing though. If I go to a movie and I'm not impressed by it, I don't really like it. I'm not going to pay to go see it a second time just to go, well, you know what, guys? I gave them all my money twice and I still didn't like the movie. I'm going to wait for it to come out on streaming. I'm going to wait for it to come out on Blu-ray and I'll pop it on and go, maybe I was wrong about that movie a month ago. But it is funny to see that the shill channels are going to multiple viewings of this movie. But the people who don't like the movie are paying to go see it multiple times. So no matter how you look at it, whether you're a shill tuber or you're a hate tuber, they're laughing all the way to the bank. They don't care if you crap on the movie. They don't care if you shill for the movie. Either way, you're going to it multiple times. They're just taking that money and they're laughing and they're going, go ahead, hate it all you want. We already got your money. Love it all you want. Shill for all you want. We already got our money. That's all they care about, guys. But I find it funny that the people who are posting about not liking the Odyssey are also posting that they went to multiple screenings of the Odyssey. I have had people post and go, oh yeah, I went to the 70 millimeter, I went to the IMAX, I went to the basic showing, and I didn't really like it. Why the hell would you sit through a 3 hour long movie 3 different times and give the theater that kind of money? I don't get it. And I get it to people who make the content for a living, whatever. It's a tax write-off. But let's see. Average price of 70 millimeter Odyssey showing. All right. I put yes. Uh, Average price range of a 70 millimeter IMAX screening for the Odyssey is $22 to $38 per ticket. So we're gonna say we'll say 28 20 or we'll say $30 a ticket, right? So $30 a ticket for the 70 millimeter. Okay. Now we'll go IMAX. So say a person went and saw this several times, right? So if a person went to 70 mil, like I said, I'm just going off some of the hate tuber channels that said they didn't like it and went to multiple screenings of it. So $30 average for the 70 millimeter. Okay. The premium box office is around $20, right? So already for 2 showings for one person, you've spent $50 or more. And then if you went to a third screening of it and a regular, screening, $15. So you're looking at you spent $65 to go watch a movie that you didn't like. For yourself, let alone who else. Why? And that's what kind of is like blowing my mind. Is it's like, do you think Christopher Nolan or Universal or whoever, do you think they care? Do you think they care that you didn't like the movie? They got you to go see it multiple showings. You know? So I just don't know. It's crazy, right? So it's Universal. That's right. Universal made the movie, but they're gonna make all the money. So it baffles my mind why, if you didn't like a movie, you would pay to go see it multiple times. But yeah, that's it for the Odyssey. So let's see, what other things do we have to talk about today? There's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff to talk about here. I want to see what I put in my title. Oh yes, so we're gonna go over to GameStop news. We're gonna talk a little bit about GameStop. So there's 2 articles I want to touch base on GameStop. And one is going to, Loudboy, you just mentioned Sony. We're going to talk a little bit about GameStop and their response to Sony killing physical games, because I think this is pretty interesting. It is something, if you've been in a GameStop, the very few there are left, you've probably noticed this shift, right? From new games, they barely have new games anymore. One of the employees at one of the ones we have that I visit still said some games now they don't even get physical copies of anymore unless people pre-order. So it's interesting. Their focus is going to be used games. And right here, we're going to go over to IGN for a double dose of articles about GameStop. So here we go. GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen insists Sony killing physical discs, quote, doesn't matter at all because video games make up so little of his business. So that headline right there is very interesting, right? So let's get into this article here. GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen has sparked a fiery debate in the gaming community after remarking that sales of physical games are, quote, totally irrelevant to his business. Cohen made the divisive statement in a July 16th interview with Bloomberg after being asked how GameStop could be impacted by Sony's industry-changing decision to stop printing physical game discs for PlayStation games starting in January of 2028. In response, he argued that the bulk of GameStop's income hinges on sales of collectibles rather than gaming software, insisting that the games themselves are chump change compared to the figures, the merch, and the trading cards that GameStop currently scalps at insanely high prices that they're focused on putting in stores. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, he told the outlet. Software, it mattered in the past. Software today makes up less than 12% of the business, and collectibles make up over half the business. So it's totally, totally irrelevant. Now, sidebar on that note. Again, as I said earlier, you can go into GameStop right now and you can get this Miku figure that most places are sold out or selling at ridiculous prices. You can get this for $30 at GameStop. If you've got a power up, you got a pro reward membership, you get points on it. You get bonuses on it. You get a $5 monthly reward on it. And you also get a discount if you bought it at GameStop. I mean, I didn't, but I'm just, for example, I've seen this one in the stores. Whereas at the conventions and things like that, people are charging $60 for it. So it's an interesting thing to see those numbers. I think, personally, GameStop should rebrand to Think Geek because they bought Think Geek. I think they should have kept the Think Geek name because it was more of a widespread thing. It was nerdy themed stuff. I think by going to the GameStop exclusive name and you're not going to focus on games anymore, I think they should take the Think Geek name and rebrand GameStop to Think Geek. Which is what I thought when they bought Think Geek they should have done in the first place. But Think Geek was also not as big of a name as GameStop, so I get why they didn't. But going forward, if you're not going to focus on games as much, or games aren't going to be your focus as much, maybe you should shift the name. You should rebrand to Think Geek. Because now you can cover all geekdom, cover all the fandoms, all the collectibles, all the goodness. Just my take. Let's go back to this article here. GameStop is a business that was on the brink of bankruptcy, and everybody was betting against it for a good reason, Cohen said earlier in his interview. And now the company's making more money than it's ever made in its history. I'm going to have to fact check that one. When asked about the potential for Rockstar's highly anticipated GTA 6 to bring in big business for GameStop, Cohen completely ignored the question, choosing it instead to discuss his failed $55.5 billion bid for eBay back in May. We're going to talk about that. Put a pin in that. It's our next article. I want you to look at your viewers. I want you to look your viewers in the eyes and tell them, are you going to bet on an entrenched management team running the business or me? Someone that went head-to-head against Amazon selling 30-pound bags of dog food, turned around a very tough situation at GameStop, and now the company's making lots of money. I don't know. That just sounded like a bunch of word vomit. I don't know. Earlier in the interview, Cohen gave an example of what the future sales might look like at GameStop, saying the brand could, quote, unlock live commerce and use its physical stores for same-day authentication while using eBay's infrastructure, if the deal ever goes through, to build an in-and-out game digital and build out an in-game digital marketplace. Okay, yeah. I don't know if I think about that. This is Cohen's latest viral interview following his bizarre remarks in a conversation with CNBC's Squawk Box, where he said he, quote, didn't understand the question when asked by the host where GameStop would get the money to purchase eBay. That was one we talked about, too. At the beginning of 2025, GameStop had around 2,300 locations in the U.S. By the end of the year, it closed 590 of them. It then kicked off 2026 by closing even more stores as part of an effort to reduce costs. For years now, some have called GameStop a dying brick-and-mortar retailer as it looks to new and often bizarre ways to generate revenue. August 2023 saw the company pull out of crypto and shut its short-lived NFT marketplace down a few months later. God, I remember that. More recently, and much to the dismay of its employees, GameStop held its first ever Trade Anything Day, which saw customers bring in literally anything for trading credit at their local stores. So, that's an interesting thing to have the CEO of a game store saying how little selling video games matters. But if those numbers are true, and only less than 12% of their business is from video games, well, that's a pretty big deal. And honestly, it's probably the cost of video games. It's the cost of the used games. It's the cost of the retro games. And it's not just a GameStop thing. I want to be clear on that. You go into any mom and pop owned video game store, any local business, any small business game store, they're all charging astronomical prices for retro games, even for newer games. I've gone into some of our smaller business stores because they talk crap about GameStop all the time, and I've looked at some of their prices and I've gone, I can get that, and that all cheaper at GameStop 2 doors down. And I've walked over to GameStop and I bought them there. I am still a person who believes we do need brick and mortars like GameStop. We do. And with the physical media dying, we're going to need them even more. But yeah, it's an interesting kind of thing. So to think that GameStop makes so much more money off collectibles, which again, I can see why, because as I said, I saw this Miku in my local GameStop for $30. Whereas you walked into a convention, things like that, $60 plus. You look on Amazon for her, she's $45. So yeah, I can see it. But we're going to switch over here. Speaking of trying to buy eBay and GameStop, GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen continues to push to buy eBay and bumps his ownership in this company to 10%. That is wild because he's getting this money from somewhere, right? Video game and collectible retailer, still on IGN. GameStop now owns nearly 10% of eBay following its offer to purchase the online auction website earlier this year. An SEC filing shows that GameStop currently controls 43.4 million eBay shares, about 9.8% of the company. That's nearly double the 5% stake it reported when CEO Ryan Cohen revealed his goal to acquire the company in May. So he doubled his amount of ownership of eBay since May. That's wild. I don't know where he's going with this. I don't know what he's thinking, but let's see. eBay is a platform that I can build into something much more profitable and much larger, Cohen told Bloomberg. How the hell is it? eBay's huge. How is he going to make it bigger? Let's see what he says. The ability to take GameStop stores and our experience in gaming and refurbished tech and collectibles, combined with eBay and be the leader in live commerce, build out an in-game digital marketplace, use the stores for same-day authentication, and ultimately pull out significant cost. I don't know how any of that is going to work. But let's see if they say anything. None of these things come at the expense of growth. It's actually the opposite. The more efficient you get, the easier it is to grow. It makes too much sense. That's why I want to buy it. It's not that complicated. eBay found itself in the headlines with GameStop on May 4th when Cohen announced his company made an unsolicited $55.5 billion offer for the company at $125 per share in cash and stock. The goal, he said at the time, was to become a legit competitor to Amazon, the CEO who is chipping in $500 million of his own money posted about selling items on eBay to pay for eBay shortly after. That's kind of funny. eBay rejected the offer 1 week later following what it called a thorough review. The company's full public response to GameStop called its bid neither credible nor attractive. As GameStop increased its ownership to 10%, he told Bloomberg that eBay has not reached out to him in the interim. He said he hopes it does, adding, but they're entrenched and they're hiding behind their advisors. What is the goal of business? What is my goal? He responded. I own a lot of stock and I don't have any perverse incentive. So it's to make the business a lot more profitable and maximize shareholder value. So that's the plan. It's not that complicated. And I've spoken about huge growth areas when cutting costs. That's just short term. With the live commerce and building out an in-game visual marketplace. So I share that with you, but anyone else in the past said, well, what's the business plan? What's the business plan? But they only do that with GameStop for whatever reason. Well, you know what the business plan is? It's to make money. I mean, that's kind of what anyone goes into business for anyways, right? In January, GameStop announced it would be closing hundreds of stores. The move arrived along with news he was going to take home $35 billion in performance-based stock options. Wow! Elsewhere in the Bloomberg interview, the CEO insisted that Sony's decision to cease production of physical game discs doesn't matter at all. I'm not going to call my shots yet, but we're coming for eBay one way or another. So that's interesting, right? Um, I don't know what people think about all that, but I personally think it's kind of wild, right? Hey Daniel, what's up? I think the whole GameStop trying to buy eBay thing, it's like a fever dream. We closed over 600 stores in less than a year, and we're gonna buy eBay, or we're gonna try to buy eBay. It's pretty wild to me, and I don't know what his plan is. I don't know. Again, I know he said something about uh, we're gonna we're gonna make what is the actual thing he said they want to buy it for. Um, they want to build they want to build an in-game digital marketplace using the stores for same-day authentication and ultimately pull out significant cost. To me, that just sounds like word vomit. So what it sounds like he wants to do is I want to use eBay to sell digital goods. And then we can authenticate and then use their GameStop stores to authenticate stuff that people bring in. So maybe he wants to do it like a consignment thing where you bring, oh god, kind of like oh my god, what was it? It was oh my god, 40-Year-Old Virgin, where she had the store where she sells your stuff on eBay, and it was like we sell on eBay or something the store was called. Is that what we're gonna turn GameStop into? Where like you come in and you go, hi, I want to sell this. And then they go, okay, let's check it out. Okay, oh, yep, it's still sealed in the box. Okay, boop. All right, we're going to put it up on eBay and we'll let you know when it sells. Like, and people are going to come in and go, oh, I want to buy this. And they'll go, oh, yeah, you can log in right now and you can buy it on your eBay account. We can give it to you. Wait, what? Like, I, I don't know what they're going to do. Like, I don't know what their reasoning is with just that like gobbledygook that he spit out. Like he wants to buy eBay so he can consolidate the businesses and have brick and mortar for eBay where they can authenticate your merch and then sell your merch. And it's like I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm so baffled by what his mindset is, but hey, you know what? God bless him for trying because yes, we've seen GameStop circle in the drain too many times, and I actually want to look. Are they? How is GameStop stock doing? I mean, it's down. It's been just going down. I don't know where he's saying. Let's see. Let's look at the past month. It was 21. It went up to 23, and now it's down to 2160 in the past month. So it really hasn't changed. It went up like $1 a share over the last month and then dropped back down again. So I mean, it is still better than I mean, it's down almost 3%. It's down 10% over the last year, and it's down 50% over the last 5 years. So, like, I don't know where he's saying their stock's doing great. Um, but yeah, sure, whatever he believes. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where GameStop is where his head is, but it's interesting, and with the kind of collapse of physical games. It's going to be interesting to where they go. And I mean, I get it. He is the CEO of a business. He wants to keep his business going. He doesn't want his business to go under. He doesn't want his paychecks to stop. He's got to do something. And again, I've said it many times before, guys. I've said it on this stream. I actually just had this conversation Sunday with a GameStop employee. I still think GameStop should take all this money they're looking to invest into eBay and invest it into making their own physical media. Eliminate, become competition for those dirt bags at limited run games. I hate that company with a passion. I think they're the shittiest people, but they got a good idea. And there's other games that do too, Special Reserve, things like that. GameStop, if they were smart, have the CEO, have this Cohen guy, reach out to Sony and go, hey, I got an offer for you. You're going to get rid of physical games in 2028. We sell physical games. We want to be the sole manufacturer and distributor of Sony's physical games going forward. GameStop then becomes the only place to buy physical copies of PlayStation games. Keeping physical games alive and keeping something exclusive to GameStop that nobody else has. I think, in my personal opinion, that would be huge. And that would raise GameStop's opinion in people's eyes rather than having an idiot CEO going, you think I care about physical games? Who gives a crap? We don't make enough money off them. Who cares? We're just called GameStop. Who cares? But actually doing something active to be pro games would make such an uptick for your company, I think, and such a good outlook for your company. And again, if GameStop was to go, hey, we have exclusive physical copies of all these games, even if they were to reach out to smaller developers in the meantime, between now and next year, and to go, hey, we noticed your game is over here on the digital storefronts and it's only available digitally. Let's work out a deal where we manufacture your physical copies and we sell them in our GameStop stores. And they can even take the, well, I'm just going to use this box as an example. I don't have a physical game right here with me, but they could take the box, right, and it could be only at GameStop, on the box art. Like they used to put only on Xbox or only on PlayStation. They could literally put GameStop exclusive or only at GameStop on the box art. And I think just like with limited run games and special reserve games and all these other companies, the games would sell out. And if they made special collector editions, those would sell out. But again, I'm not a businessman. I'm not a CEO. I'm just someone who knows nerd stuff and kind of jack of all trades with nerd stuff. I think it would be great for GameStop. But that is those are my thoughts on GameStop, because to me it feels like GameStop is not helping their game industry. They're going to just help let it die, or they're going to just sit there and let it die, and I don't like that. So just my thoughts. I know I'm just one dude, talking to the internet. So that was good coffee. All right. So we're going to go a little bit longer today. We'll probably hit that 3 hour mark because we got lots of stuff to talk about. So, I think maybe we'll go over to Xbox and talk a little bit about their kind of stupid comments that they've made. So we'll go from GameStop making dumb comments over to Xbox. I mean, Uh, that's actually a good plan, bro. Pitch it. Dude, you know what? If anyone out there, tag GameStop in that, make a clip. We'll make a clip of it and we'll tag GameStop in it and say, here's your plan. Maybe I'll do that. I'll make a clip of it. We'll throw it out there at GameStop. We'll tag the CEO and say, hey, here's a less dumb idea. Um, but yeah, let's go over here to a little bit of Xbox stuff. That's a little weird to me, right? So we had the CEO talk about, brag about exclusives coming back to Xbox, right? So here we have an interesting follow-up to that, which I knew this was going to be coming. Xbox says more exclusives are coming, but tells player not to, quote, overly fixate on single-player games. Exclusive to Xbox have once again attempted to clarify, or executives, I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Executives at Xbox have once again attempted to clarify of the company's approach to exclusives, promising that Gears of War EBAY and Clockwork Revolution are not the only titles it's planning. Xbox Chief Strategy Officer Matthew Ball and Chief Content Officer Matt Booty, love his name. We got Matt Ball and Matt Booty. We got Booty and Balls, dude. It writes itself. Why don't they just call themselves Booty and Balls? Why? We're dubbing them that. So we're gonna Xbox's Booty and Balls tried to further explain how Microsoft is handling exclusives during a conversation with Games Radar. Their clarification arrived amid the company's renewed interest in the strategy, which kicked off just last month with confirmation that two of its biggest first-party games would not come to PlayStation consoles. Does anybody care about Clockwork Revolution? Does anyone really care about the new Gears? When's the last time we had a good Gears? Come on, guys. And Gears was my favorite Xbox game. I love Gears. All right. I can assure you, Gears of War, EBAY, and Clockwork Revolution are not the only titles we're planning. Booty and Balls promised. To grow a platform like ours, you have to have exclusive games and services. These are not going to be the only two titles. Microsoft shocked the industry at its Xbox Game Showcase last month when it declared the Coalition's Gears of War EBAY would not be releasing on PS5 as many had expected. The announcement that Exiles Entertainment Clockwork Revolution would also be console exclusive arrived soon after. Arrived sooner after? Shouldn't it be arrived soon after? I don't know, whatever. I'm not a proofreader. Both were also confirmed to be pure console exclusive with no time exclusivity deals in place. Now, it's going to be interesting because I believe they said they're going to be on Game Pass. So, are they going to block it from PC Game Pass? I don't know. What's emerged in the week since is muddy messaging that's led to some confusion amongst fans. Just as rumors that Xbox had hastily decided to make the Gears prequel exclusive began to dissipate, theories were reignited when the company leaked an image for the game featuring a PS5 logo. Meanwhile, as games like Gears of War Reloaded, Halo Campaign Evolved, and Fable come to PS5, players have been left uncertain about how Microsoft will determine what's an exclusive and what isn't. So what does the future of Xbox exclusive games look like? For the most diehard fans, and maybe even Microsoft itself, it's hard to say. You know what it's going to be? We're going to have 5 studios, and they're going to make 3 games a year, or a cycle. That's going to be what you're going to get. In June, Balls and Booty said the company would choose the titles to get exclusive treatment on a case-by-case basis. Today, he's being a tad more direct, promising that while large live service titles will be multi-platform going forward, players shouldn't expect all single-player titles to be Xbox exclusive. So now he's backpedaling a little bit. I wouldn't overly fixate on single-player, he clarified. I think that's a good rule of thumb, but it certainly isn't something that's carved in stone. He continued, we are the stewards of over 20 game franchises that have made $1 billion in their lifetime. There are a lot of different games in our portfolio, and we do have to think about how different games serve different purposes within it. Ball and Booty and Balls, said Microsoft does have a framework for these selections, including how we evaluate them. He noted that it's a strategy that may be obvious to all of our players, not be obvious to all of our players, saying the Xbox team is committed to making this clearer. Meanwhile, making a bunch of gobbledygook speak that makes no clarifications at all, right? Um, as Xbox CEO Asha Sharma, she's so good, brings the energy to the team. She's bringing the unemployment to the team. That's she's bringing. Booty and Balls said they're hoping to strike the right balance between the work that the teams have invested and a strategy pivot. The new gaming boss said in June that exclusives are needed to build a platform. Gee, how long have we known that? Since the NES and the Genesis? I mean, come on. I don't know. That was a Microsoft thing where now we're going to have our games on every platform. You can play it wherever you want. And what did that do? It shit canned the freaking sales of your platform, of your console. And now your Game Pass isn't making enough money. Where are you now? Well, now we got to pivot and we're going to make exclusives again. Sure. Because they tried to do it and they tried to go, let's share some of our games with Sony. And Sony said, eat a bag of dicks. We're not sharing our games, but we'll take yours. And now they're going to go back to exclusives. There is scant evidence of any platform ever being built, let alone sustained, without having exclusive content. It doesn't matter whether we're talking about cable networks, streaming video channels, broadcast, terrestrial radio, a Hollywood studio, a music label, you need it. I wish we could time travel back to when they said we don't need exclusives. We need our stuff to get out to everybody. Now they're backpedaling. We're still in the early days of Xbox's new strategy, so it's tough to say how it will change its troubled ecosystem in the months and years ahead, as the company attempts to clear the air when it comes to new exclusive strategy, which they've done none of right now. It's still trudging through the aftermath of layoffs that arrived alongside what Sharma called the most significant restructure in its history. The restructure in question, 1,600 laid off, with another 1,600 throughout the rest of the year. Happened earlier this month. So, let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about a little. All right. I know I kind of chimed in. None of that corporate speak clarified anything. And it raised more questions. Don't focus on single player games, guys. So does that mean we're gonna go, yeah, our single player games are gonna be Xbox exclusive and we're gonna have our, you know, online games be multi-platform, which is what Sony does? Um, I don't know. I don't know. But again, Microsoft is pivoting to pivot and then pivoting the pivot again and then pivoting the pivot on top of another pivot and then going, we don't know what we're doing, guys, but we're going to do something and it's going to be great. So I don't know. Whereas Sony, on the other hand, is just going straight to the point. F you, F your physical games. We don't care. Microsoft's trying to put a corporate BS spin on it, like, guys, we care about you, and we care about our employees, and we care about Xbox, and we want it to survive. Why? Because we're freaking treading water right now, and we don't know how long we can sustain this. That's why. Meanwhile, Sony hasn't been treading water. They've been up on top. They're just going, we don't care. And that's the problem when you don't have competition anymore. You know, yeah, Loud Boys, I saw that. I actually think I have that article pulled up. Do I have that one in my notes here? I believe I have that, and I think it's Kojima I have too. I think I put up that on. I gotta look up my notes. Trying to find it now. Yeah, but I did have that in here. Again, when my computer rebooted, some of my notes went away. Trying to find it now. I got the Kojima one. I have the Kojima one, but not the. I have to actually find that now. But yeah, I had Kojima's rant, but not the. I think it was Nikawa, right? I think it was Nikawa that said it. Gotta look it up now. No, I don't see it. Yeah, I can't even find it. Unfortunately, I can't find it. I was looking, but I'm not finding it, and I don't want to spend too much time here in silence. But and it's funny because Nippon Ichi games kind of don't don't have as many physical games as they used to anymore either. There are a lot of digital games. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny that they're all coming out to to speak out against it. You know, I mean, Kojima, I get it. Kojima, because Kojima said, right here, Kojima said, uh, we'll go right here. I'll talk about this too. It's not the same article that you're thinking of, but I had the other article pulled up. But all right here, Hideo Kojima describes Sony's decision to end physical games as scary. Warns that you won't own the data. There's a server somewhere, and you only have the right to turn on the tap. Kojima isn't happy. Uh, Celebrity video game designer Hideo Kojima revealed that he is very sad about recent news that Sony plans to discontinue production of physical games in January of 2028. Speaking to, yeah, whatever, in Rome, he said, I'm very sad about it because I grew up with physical media, and mentioned that he's currently collecting Blu-ray discs and DVDs, which a lot of people are now. Games are a little different because you download them to your hard drive, so the data remains on your hardware, he continued. However, if the games move towards streaming in the future, that will also disappear. It's like streaming subscriptions for movies, like Netflix or Amazon. There's a server somewhere, and you only have the right to turn on the tap. When you turn it on, the data on the server comes out. He fears that in the future, many forms of media will only be accessible via subscription services from the start, leaving us with no option other than to pay a monthly fee in order to access our favorite titles. If that happens, what will happen is that I won't own the data. Some company will own the server and say you can turn on the tap for a certain amount of money each month, and it's certainly conceivable that the data will stop eventually being distributed. When that happens, I won't be able to watch my favorite movies or play my favorite games, and that's what's scary. The comments came as fans continue to grapple with the announcements, which have resulted in widespread backlash, though it seems unlikely Sony will backtrack on the decision, as the historic PlayStation factory that manufactured 24 billion game discs is already being turned into a micro optics lab as production winds down. F you, Sony. F you, Sony. That's all I can say, man. I hate it. Every time I read about it, I get pissed. And it pisses me off even more. And it is why I've been trying to scoop up as many physical games as I can when I see them at a low price. Even if I don't really want the game right this minute, I get it. If I can find it cheap, I get it because I'm like, I don't know if that game's going to shoot up in price. If I see a game like a bunch of games I showed you guys in like physical hauls that I've done recently, got all those games for like a lot of games for like 10, 15 bucks a piece. If I can find games physical for 10, 15 bucks a pop, I'm buying them. Because I don't know what the future brings. I don't know if those games are going to be scarce. They're going to not be printed anymore. If we're going to just go, hey, That's now a rare copy of a game. What are we gonna do? You know, so I scoop them up when I get them on the cheap. Um, but yeah, Loudboy, if you have the article, if you have that article about the Disgaea creator handy, um, let me get it from you because I don't have it. I cannot find. I had the damn thing pulled up and I don't anymore. So unfortunately, so I want to talk a little bit about something that's kind of sucks. Um, because we have a little bit of time for it. We're going to talk a little bit about a voice actress that I really love. I love her work. We're spend a quick minute on this one because it kind of does suck, but I have my theories about it as well. Right here, Jennifer English steps away from her role in Tides of Annihilation due to health concerns. Gwendolyn will now have a new voice at her recommendation. Um, I have my thoughts on this, but we'll get into the article first, and then I'll kind of go there. Jennifer English has issued, oh, there's an update. Issued a statement following the news that she'll be stepping away from her role as Gwendolyn in the Eclipse Glow games Tides of Annihilation, which I am very excited for, by the way. The actress shared her thoughts on the matter with a statement published on her personal IG and Twitter. Previously announced by the developer, English said she stepped away from the game due to health concerns, calling the move a difficult yet personally necessary decision. Here's the full statement, and I'll read this. I'm really grateful to have been a part of Tides of Annihilation since the game's inception and have worked with such a lovely team. Recently, I found myself needing to slow down and reassess the commitments I've taken on. After careful thought, I've realized I need to take time to rest and properly look at my mental and physical health. With that in mind, I've made the difficult yet personally necessary decision to step away from the project as it moves into its next phase. During this transition, I was pleased to help introduce the Tides of Annihilation team to a very talented actor who I believe is a wonderful fit for Gwen. Having seen her passion, talent, and care for the craft, I'm excited for players to hear her interpretation of the role and can't wait for players to experience what she brings to Gwen. Although I'll be stepping away from the role, I'm happy to remain involved with Tides of Annihilation as an advisor, and I look forward to supporting the team and Gwen's journey in a different capacity. I wish the entire team nothing but success, and I'll be cheering them on as they continue bringing the game to life. Thank you for your understanding and support. So that's her follow up. So English actress Jennifer English is stepping away from her role as the protagonist in Tides of Annihilation due to health issues. They announced on July 17th, just over a year after the title was revealed at Sony's State of Play. As told in a statement on the game's official X, English will no longer voice its main character Gwendolyn due to personal health reasons. She will, however, continue to support the title in an advisory role. English informed them she would not be able to continue her role in early June. While we were, of course, saddened by her decision, we completely understood and respected her in prioritizing her well being. We are also deeply grateful for the care and responsibility she showed throughout the process. During this transition, Jennifer remained incredibly supportive and, together with other members of our voice cast, helped us identify and connect with a talented performer who could carry Gwendolyn forward while staying true to the character. Luckily, a new voice has been found, with English and other members of the game's cast recommending this as of yet unannounced actor. They say her recent voice work in the industry left a strong impression on both Jennifer and our team, not only for the performances, but the remarkable care and dedication and understanding of the character. We're going to see the new voice actress for the first time in the playable demo at Gamescom in August. So, let me just get some thoughts out. And this is just my thoughts. Um, if you guys don't know, um, she Jennifer English and her partner, right? I believe her name is I forget, it's Baranova, I think is her last name, right? They were going to be playing the protagonist and the antagonist in this game. So we had we had a couple voicing the protagonist and the antagonist, right? So they broke up this year after whatever it was, 3 or 5 years or whatever. And now we're getting her saying just I need to work on my mental and my health. And this is me just theorizing. My daughter loves Jennifer English. She met her, she got her autograph. I think she was amazing as Mael. I think she's a super sweet person from what she comes off as. My theory is that it got to a point where I'm not comfortable working with my ex, and I can 100% agree where that would cause mental issues, right? Mental health uncomfort levels or whatever, uncomfortable mental health, uncomfortable work environment. I can get that. And having, if you're not good up here, it can affect you everywhere else, right? So I can understand that. And while, she probably hasn't come out and said, hey, I don't really want to work voicing with my ex, whatever. Could be, could not be. She could have some actual health issues and she's just not disclosing what they are. But my thoughts on it are this is a game you started, you were working with your girlfriend at the time, your significant other, and you guys broke up. And now you're leaving, stepping away from the game because of your mental health. Well, to me, that's a pretty solid indicator. I personally wouldn't want to work in the same place with my ex either. That's why I never date in the workplace. Never did. But I can understand that, and I've got no shade, no judgment. I can fully agree with her making that decision. If that is the decision, if that is why she's made that decision, and just not disclosing it. But that's just kind of my theory. I I know no knowledge of it. I do not know her personally, but that's just my thought on the matter, and it's just kind of my own opinion I'm forming on it. Kind of just putting the pieces together. But I wouldn't blame her. I'd be very uncomfortable working with my ex too. I don't even like seeing my ex, so I can't blame her. So I think we've covered almost everything today, other than maybe the Doomsday trailer. Now, oh, you know what? We're gonna go to we're gonna go to Sony news really quick. We're gonna go to some Sony news really quick because I just forgot I had this up in my notes. Let's do this. Loudboy, do you have that? Do you happen to have that article about the Disgaea creator and physical games? I had it in my notes and it's gone. I might have closed it out by accident. I cannot find it, dude. If you have the article, shoot it over to me, and we'll talk about that too. But here's something just really quick we could talk about. Kind of sucks. I mean, people are celebrating it because they weren't happy with the footage, the screenshots we saw. But yeah, God of War show is recasting Kratos after Ryan Hurst tears his bicep while filming a stunt. Um, that sucks, man. I hope he gets a speedy recovery, man. Kratos suffered a big injury while filming for Amazon and Sony Pictures God of War show. Star Ryan Hurst tore his bicep, putting the production on hold. Now the studio has been forced to recast the character. Yeah, torn bicep, man. That is not something you're gonna heal from instantly. He's gonna be out of commission for a while. He was filming a stunt for the series when the injury occurred on set in Vancouver. The tear is reportedly so severe that it requires surgery to fix, putting the actor out of commission well past producers' optimistic mid-August timeline. Filming could get pushed back as far as 2027, depending on how long it takes him to recover. So now they have to go and they have to recast him. He reportedly sacked on 40 pounds to bring Kratos to life. Uh, Man, Deadline states he's already undergone surgery and is currently recovering from the procedure. Shooting is expected to resume mid-October, and prep will start in August. They have not yet said who is going to be eyed to replace him. So they have to now mad dash from now till August to get somebody. And the sooner the better, because just like it showed here, Ryan put on 40 pounds to play Kratos. unless you get someone who's already big and burly, they're gonna have to take a few months to start putting on some weight. So, that dude, that sucks. That sucks really bad. Like, I feel bad, man. I hope he gets a speedy recovery. Um, Dude, that sucks. I mean, I'm not looking forward to another video game adaptation anyways. I'm tired of them bastardizing our games and bastardizing our anime, doing all that. I am not really looking forward to it. But uh, we'll see what happened or what happens. Where is it? I was looking for an article again. I cannot find that article that Loudboy actually mentioned, and I'm really pissed because I had it earlier and I don't have it now. So, but yeah, the Disgaea creator, former CEO, I think, of the company, actually said something about physical games too, and how it's going to be, detrimental basically to the industry, and I agree. So let's I'm gonna be pausing this a lot. I gotta get my cans on. Marvel dropped a trailer for Doomsday. I'm gonna try to do a little reacting to it. I'm gonna probably mute it during musical segments because I don't want to get copyright hit. But let's take a quick look at some of this trailer. Okay? So Marvel dropped the trailer for Doomsday. And it's got all the people kind of going, all the hate tubers are hating on it. All the shill channels are literally jizzing in their pants over it. And I mean, I watched this trailer a couple times, and I'm gonna just say before we get into it, I was very whelmed by it. I was not overwhelmed. I was not underwhelmed. I was not impressed. I was not excited. It brought nothing. It brought out no emotions from me. And that's one thing about this trailer that I found very, very strange. Whereas Brand New Day, Spider-Man, I was very excited for. So let's go through a little bit of this trailer. I'm going to turn on the volume a little bit on it. Oh wait, I got to actually share the screen. Hold on, let's share the browser. This is from the official Marvel, and again, I don't want to get copyright, so we're gonna be stopping and pausing and muting a lot through this. But let's take a look at this. So we see here the trailer opens. We've got Xavier's school right here, and it's kind of destroyed. But the voice is pretty cool.
Something's coming.
Downey actually put on an accent. So we see
we may not be able to deter before this day is done. We should be faced with.
So this right here, this is our first look at Doom, right? And yes, I'm gonna keep pausing because again, I don't want to get copyright hit. And if I do, you guys are watching this on the VODs. I apologize because it's gonna probably all be muted or this is gonna get cut out. We're not sure yet, but I'm gonna keep trying to pause and everything else. So we saw at the beginning here, right? We saw some kind of explosion happening right here, right? And if you look, it looks like, I mean, literally looks like crap is hitting the fan. Xavier, it looks like the windows are already, or there's something kind of coming down right here, right? And we've got some explosions happening out. So things are going to hit the fan in the Fox universe, because this is going to obviously be the Fox X-Men. So, and he's kind of looking out the window, and the school already looks, if you're looking inside here, there's debris all over the ground here. So things are already hitting the fan right now. Otherwise, I mean, Xavier needs to hire a new housekeeper because the school's decrepit, right? And obviously this takes place before Logan's timeline, or in a different timeline from Logan, because Logan, obviously, Xavier's dead. So again, I'm going to kind of talk around this just so it's transformative. And he says, before the day is done, I believe this is Robert Downey's Doom voice. I believe this is an accent he's putting on. I did see the final trailer for Brand New Day, and I'm very excited for it.
We should be fast
Maybe
with the
maybe I'll switch over to that after this, and we'll go over that a little bit because that looks really good too. I'm pretty excited about it. This one, like I said, I was not very excited about.
unthinkable decision.
To be faced with an unthinkable decision. I'm gonna skip over the Marvel Studios logo. But yeah, there's the new Avengers Tower right here. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Oh, here we go.
Many warriors.
We got Thor kind of talking over things. We got the Fantastic Failure.
Stronger than all of us put together.
This right here is the weakest. Let's just say this is the weakest lineup we could ever have to fight anybody. I mean, literally, we take Thor out of this, and we've got Captain Falcon with no powers and nanotech and Black Panther Wakandan tech and everything else, right? We've got Ant-Man here. We've got the great value Thunderbolts with a... Dude, he's wearing the freaking logoed out suit for Red Guardian with the backwards hat. Like, so he's going to be the butt of every joke until he probably dies, right? And we've got like literally the Expendables over here, the characters that are just going to probably be the first ones to die, right? I mean, it sucks. John Walker did nothing wrong. John Walker murdered somebody who murdered his partner. Yeah, okay, sure. He was done dirty in this show. And then we've got the Fantastic Failures over here. This is not a good lineup, guys. This does not make me excited. And honestly, seeing Infinity War Thor with the short hair rather than long hair Thor again kind of bums me out. It's almost like Hemsworth was just like, bro, we're not doing the wig this time. We're not doing the hair. We're just rocking my normal hair. Piss off. And they went, okay. So we're going back to short hair Thor again. I wanted muscled up Thor with the long freaking locks, looking like a boss, like he did in the first movie. I wanted Thor back, and I mean, it seems like we're gonna get battle ready, muscular Thor back, and not fat Thor that everyone makes fun of, the butt of every joke. Because now we've got Red Guardian for all the butts of the jokes, right? So I just don't know. But here he is. He says right here. I've fought with many warriors, right? And I got the captions on here. I've fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together, right? That's not surprising. Bro, any of his Asgardians could wipe the floor with almost this entire room. Other than Thor, there is nobody. I mean, Yelena, pew, 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 pew. She's going to shoot her pea shooters. Bucky can scrap. So can John Walker. But they're not going to fight Thanos level threats with their robot arms and their super soldiers here. They're not going to do it. And again, Yelena, what's she going to go pew, 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 pew. I'm great value Black Widow, pew, 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 and do nothing, right? And then we got, what is that? This is Ghost, I think, right? Yeah, she's dying quick. She's not surviving. And again, Ant-Man, I mean, he can get giant-sized, I guess. And Falcon, who's just essentially, Falcon in a vibranium suit with Cap's shield, that really can't throw it that hard because he's just a normal dude. And then we've got, again, the Fantastic Failure that can barely stop small Galactus, powered down Galactus. Not looking very positive here.
Together. And
they died. So, okay. There's your foreboding thing right here. This is what I'm expecting. All those people we just saw die in this movie. That's what I'm thinking. It's kind of what I want. I want this to be kill them all, and get us a fresh reboot. But we'll talk about my fears for the follow-up movie if that does happen.
Died.
We've got Namor. Worst depiction of Namor the Submariner we could have ever gotten in the abomination that was Wakanda Forever. And again, we're going to go to great value Black Panther now too. Yeah, because Shuri in the MCU don't look nothing like Shuri did in the comic books. Shuri was mommy in the comic books, okay? And in that Black Panther fit, oh my God. Just not go there. Look at J. Scott Campbell's art of her. And then we've got M'Baku is back for, I don't know, because we need another person that was expendable, I guess. And we already got, oh, everyone's getting ready to fight.
That scared me far less.
Okay, this part right here, this should have been the part that gets me excited, right? We've got Thor coming down with Stormbringer. It's very reminiscent of him coming down in, an Infinity War to save the day, right? And we've got our shadowy figure who
Then this one.
we're going to see is Doctor Doom. And then we're going to switch over to now the X-Mansion blowing up again. And here he is, though. I am honestly excited about this. This I did get pumped for. This I did get excited for. Seeing James Marsden in the actual Cyclops fit, minus the trunks, bringing out the visor. I'm not going to lie, this part did get me a little excited. I got a little happy seeing this. So far, none of this trailer has done anything for me, but seeing Cyclops in the blue and yellow, the visor, ready to fire in the mansion, I do like that. And this right here, okay, who the hell cares about Shang-Chi? And he's fighting Gambit, so we're getting the worlds are going to be converging, right? And I'm going to be honest, okay? If it was the 10 rings, Shang-Chi and the 10 rings, and not the arm bracelets, Shang-Chi would body Gambit. Like, actual powered Shang-Chi would probably body Gambit. There wouldn't be no facing off, okay? It wouldn't. Shang-Chi would body Gambit. I love Gambit, but a powered up with the 10 rings Shang-Chi would body Gambit.
Everything that they sacrificed will be for.
And then we're bringing back Loki. Now, if you guys know, not many people did because not many people watched it. Season 2 of Loki became like the thing that's holding all the universes together. He sacrificed himself, right? Spoiler alert, guys. Sorry. So we're going to have to explain why Loki's still involved, right? Doctor Strange and his team. Yeah, I'm sure that's coming in the next movie.
Nothing. If we do not stand together.
We got our... So here we have... So we've got Bucky, and I believe that's Falcon 2 and Ghost. So expendable and expendable and expendable with Thing and Sue in Wakanda. With, if you notice here, the water is all going around. So Namor must be present here at some point because he's got the water raised up. And they're just meeting in the middle of it. So, again, there's a lot of things to look at in this trailer and to kind of pick through and kind of make assumptions. But again, it's Marvel, so they do remove characters, things like that. They did actually leak the meeting of these two, where he says he's from the Bronx and everything else, right? And it's kind of a funny interaction.
Put aside.
But here we got Yelena with Herbie and Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic, I won't shave my mustache for any role because I'm Pedro Pascal. And that's just my mustache. Like, I fucking hate Pedro Pascal. Oh, he ruins everything he's in. Oh, sorry, I had to get my one F-bomb out.
And your petty squabbles.
But we've got our first look at Mystique. Rebecca Romaine is back. And she's got the girl boss haircut now. The side She got the side curl here going with the shaved side, dude. She's got the girl boss head. She's got the less sexualized kind of bodysuit now, rather than classic Mystique rocking the dress, right? We've got like full on arm gear. You know, she looks like she's in Fantastic Four suit almost. But here she is changing into Yelena. And I've seen people say, comment on this scene right here and go, I'm so sick of nanotech. Obviously, don't know who Mystique is. It's not nanotech, guys. It's her shape-shifting ability. So she's going to turn to Yelena, and we're going to get Yelena on Yelena.
Nothing except this.
And we've got old man Magneto. Looking like they rolled poor Sir Ian McKellen. Like they rolled him up out of the old folk home and just said, bro, sit there while we shoot this scene. We're going to kill you off later anyways. And he just rolled up for set and was like, all right, guys, film me. You know, like rolling all these old dudes out. Like, and again, nothing against him. I love him and I love Patrick Stewart. But, bro, they should have brought back the guys from First Class that were, you know, still not overly old. But maybe they'll show up in the next movie. I don't know.
If you return.
And Patrick Stewart's just look the same.
You will return as brothers and sisters.
So here, I want to know where this is taking place, right? Because the school is literally now destroyed. Like it looks like those are the guardrails. That looks like the school is now destroyed. And at the beginning of the trailer, we saw Professor X in the kind of school falling apart, looking out the window with explosions happening. So I'm trying again, and it is me. I'm trying to piece together what the hell is going on. Is it a Doom incursion? Is it another incursion that's triggering this? Are we gonna see Cyclops going with everybody, or are we just bringing the X-Men in, other than Gambit, to just kind of be wiped out at the beginning, right? But we did see the footage, the screen picture there, the team footage, where we have Cyclops there. So Cyclops may end up being one of the sole survivors of whatever happens here, right? Maybe Professor X sends them all away. We got flying Namor and his little wing feet, right? I still think he is the worst casting for Namor. He looks horrible. And then here's the part where I have a problem. Okay, and you know people already gave me crap online for it. This is right here. We've got Thor powered up, Stormbringer, coming to bring down the thunder, and Doom just casually standing here, right? Amidst all this debris. And my problem isn't that he pinky stops Stormbringer, right? That's not my problem. Bro literally holds up two fingers and stops Stormbringer. My biggest problem with this scene was it looked bad. This right here, Marvel's got to stop relying on the heavy CG overload, and even to the point where the characters are CG, and the volume, because this scene looks like a PS4 cutscene, upscaled. Like all of this whole thing with recording in the volume, you know, on like the sound stage, it's none of this looks like a world. This looks like a video game cutscene from a PlayStation 4 game. And Thor right here, dude, it looks like the CG Spider-Man swinging around from the first Spider-Man movie over 15 years ago. It just doesn't look that good. And that's why I think Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be better, because it's going to be using more practical effects. And it's going to be less of this CG volumetric crap that we keep getting from the big event movies. Right? I don't like the way this looks. It just looks like a cutscene from a video game. But that is pretty boss. The only problem is people who don't know Doom don't know anything about this. How the hell can this guy stop everything in one hit? Stormbringer literally punctured and shot Thanos. Stormbringer literally shot Thanos' head off, who is a titan. Doom is just a man, right? So again, people are going to have tons of questions because we've had zero build-up for Doom. And on the flip side, that can also make him a little more intimidating because bro just shows up and destroys everything. But I would have liked to have had some build up to Doom, some kind of showing that he is a threat. But it is Marvel throwing a Hail Mary going, guys, we need to make some money. And that's it. But you can see he's got his gauntlets here have the incantations kind of carved into them. So we already are seeing that Doom does have the magic and the tech. And he, person can see that. He has his glyphs etched into his gauntlets. So that is how he can stop Stormbringer, because he's magically enhanced, right?
We're going to need a miracle.
Hey, pal.
It's not possible.
I'll say, Chris has been keeping up with that workout routine. Bro looks jacked as hell. But again, he needs the long hair. Chris was just like, bro, I ain't doing the long hair. Screw you. Bring you back to short-haired Thor. I wish we had long-haired Thor. And here we go. We brought back Captain America. And he's going to get Mjolnir. Now, I don't know. I mean, I've been thinking that maybe this is Hydra Cap. But if he was Hydra Cap, would Mjolnir go to him? So I don't know. I just have a feeling Cap isn't going to be with them. But I could be wrong. So we still got long-haired, bearded Steve Rogers, and we've got, of course, Avengers Doomsday, which should be called Avengers Expendable. That's what it should be called, Avengers Expendable, because nobody cares about any of the characters in this movie other than Doom, Thor, and Captain America. Everybody else can just go away, and my feeling is that 75% of the people in this movie are not making it through the end. Right? So, see it in Infinity Vision. Christmas. And they have a counter at the end here, a ticker. And we didn't really have anything else after that. So, I don't know. You know what? I kind of already brought up all the points of the movie that I was thinking about, right? So, and then let's go back to what Loudboys was saying. Where is Doctor Strange and his team? Well, if you remember in the MCU, Doctor Strange is not even around right now. The last time we saw Doctor Strange in his horrible-ass movie, Multiverse of Madness, he wandered off with Charlize Theron into a dimensional vagina. And we've never seen them since. So Doctor Strange is nowhere. Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme, and Wong's not even around. And you would think that if a mystical master that blends mysticism and magic with tech was becoming a threat and there were incursions and dimensions coming together, you would see Wong and the students and everyone else kind of coming forward. But we don't see that yet. And I don't know what the excuse is going to be. maybe we're going to see a clip of Doom going there and decimating and laying waste, and then we're going to have Doctor Strange come back from his interdimensional vagina with Charlize Theron to everything being destroyed in Secret Wars. Maybe, I don't know, but it's definitely interesting, right? To see all of that, and I just don't know how I feel about it yet, right? So I have another trailer I pulled up too, but I don't know if we're gonna do that yet. I have the Spider-Man trailer pulled up because we didn't mention it. But yeah, I think I watched that trailer and I wasn't excited, and then I watched all the cock gobblers and all the shill channels being like, "Oh my god, that's Marvel's back! Oh my god, we're it's so good, just gobbling the knobs," and I'm like, I didn't feel anything from that trailer other than, oh hey, all these guys are, yeah, they're expendable. They ain't making it. Other than seeing Cyclops in the blue costume, I didn't feel anything. And then of course we had, the other side, the hate too. We're just going, this is trash, this is garbage, this is shite, this is that, this is dog shit. I don't care. But they're all gonna go pay to see it multiple times. But it's just like, I don't feel like I'm in the minority with it too. Like a lot of just regular people I've talked to about it are just like, I didn't really care about it. And a lot of people said, I'm more excited for Spider-Man, which is me. I am more excited for Spider-Man. Um, and I think the costume for Rebecca Romijn's Mystique is atrocious. They actually did show it. Um, it's kind of horrible how it looks. So let me give you the example. This is Rebecca Romijn's Mystique right here. Remember how I said it looks like she's wearing a full-on outfit? This is what the full fit looks. She looks like she just came off a starship in Star Trek or Star Wars. She looks like a freaking fleet commander in Star Wars or a bridge crew member in Star Trek. This is not Mystique. Again, this is Mystique, guys. This is what they keep taking from us. Not this. And I don't know if it's maybe Rebecca Romijn isn't in the same shape she used to be. Obviously, she's older now. I don't know. But this is what they're taking from us to make her. And she's wearing flats too. Come on. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not. I don't know. But at least they got Cyclops' costume down. Like, I'm okay with that. So, I don't know, man. It's rough. But I think, here's my theory. At the end of the day, everybody in that trailer is expendable. We might even see Thor die. And maybe he'll be resurrected with the All-Father's power. And that's how we're going to save the day at the end of Secret Wars. Right? So my theory is that Doom might wipe the floor with Thor, possibly kill Thor. And we might see Thor come back in Secret Wars with the power of the All-Father. Right? And he's going to be what's helped stop Doom and Secret Wars. Because I think Secret Wars is going to end, Doomsday is going to end just like Infinity War, with our heroes down and out and wiped out. I think we're going to see, Doctor Strange come back from the space interdimensional vaginal tear with Charlize Theron that we never got any closure to. And he's going to see his school and Wong and everyone is decimated, bringing him into Secret Wars. I think we're going to get Spider-Man, possibly with the symbiote, come back into Secret Wars. And everyone cool is going to come into Secret Wars. But the only characters we have left are the younger people that nobody cares about, that nobody watched their stuff. We're going to have Miss Marvel. We're going to have, Ant-Man's daughter, probably going to go on a revenge tour, Cassie. And we're going to have all these inexperienced people. We're going to have Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, and all these inexperienced people going after Doom now, where we couldn't do that with the experienced people. So I don't know. I don't know where Marvel's going with it. I don't know where Marvel's going with it. And but again, Loudboy, that's just my theory about what we're going to see from Doctor Strange. I don't know. I'm not a scooper or anything like that. But let's maybe we'll go to one that I'm actually pretty excited about before we close the stream. So let's do that. Let me see if I can get this from. Let's see if I can pull up the Spidey trailer here. Yes, I can. We're gonna pull up the other trailer. We're gonna pull up the Spider-Man Brand New Day, the new trailer, and we're gonna just do a little quick thing to that. Again, I don't know if it's gonna get hit in the VOD afterwards for copyright. I think as far as the stream goes, we are not getting hit with any kind of negative stuff. We haven't hit with any copyright yet, so that's good. So I'm going to go over to one that I am excited about, and that is the Brand New Day trailer. So let's see this real quick. And again, I'm going to be muting and pausing and things like that because I don't want to get copyright. But
hi, my name is Peter Parker.
And again, it's weird because we're seeing him in high school. Like this looks like high school. It doesn't look like college, but I guess it is. I guess it's a college campus, but with the bell ringing stuff, it just reminded me of high school, and I'm like, bro, he's too old. So I guess we're in college, right?
I have something to tell you that's gonna sound crazy.
That I love. I love that he did the, he has the wings going, obviously, but that was something in the first movie as well.
But it's the truth.
You're the Spider-Man.
Can't tell anybody about this. You gotta keep it a secret.
Okay.
Oh, this is just the
Everybody
journey.
good?
This is like all the old movies, right? So this is the trailer they just put out. So
And
we
the
saw
only
all
way-
his stuff
What are you
going
talking
on.
about? I'm gonna come and find you.
So he forgets everybody. Everyone forgets him.
Maybe I'll never read this to you.
No.
But
Maybe I'm just writing this for me.
there was
and
a trailer
maybe that's
before
my
this that I was
responsibility,
excited
live alone
for,
with
not
the
this
truth.
one. But this is, dude, 2
Because I'm not
weeks.
just Peter Parker.
Like
I'm
2
Spider-Man.
weeks, man. I'm excited for this.
We're faced with a threat that can be.
So we're gonna see. So we got Scorpion right here. He's back. So again, this already looks nicer than the Doomsday. This looks like an actual city, right? That they're fighting in. This doesn't look like the volume. Like you can see, there's buildings, there's things behind them. It doesn't look like the Doomsday trailer that we just looked at. That looks very much like it was recorded in a very small soundstage with a bunch of CG kind of targets to look at and things like that. You can tell the difference that they've used a lot more practicality in this just from the beginning of this trailer here. And yes, they CGI, the effects and things like that over everything, but you can tell that this was done in a either in big sound stages or in actual real life locations, which they showed the behind the scenes that they did.
You sure you want to do this, Scorpion?
You think I'm Scorpion?
That is where that's interesting. You think I'm Scorpion. So are we gonna get Chameleon? Is my only wonder, because I mean that is Scorpion, like that's him. But when he says that, it does make me wonder. So we're gonna either have mind control, we're gonna have mind control stuff going on. Obviously, we've heard the rumors that Jean Grey is gonna be in this. So right here, he says, "You think I'm Scorpion?" So I don't know. I don't think it makes sense for Jean Grey to be manipulating everyone against him. So I think she's someone else. I don't think the rumors are true. I don't think Sadie Sink is going to be Jean Grey, because we'd have to have an explanation as to why Jean Grey is mind controlling everyone to try to kill Spider-Man. It doesn't make any sense. So I don't think she's Jean Grey.
Talk to
And then here we go right here. So we're gonna have our friend the Hulk is gonna come back.
No banner. Only hope.
And honestly, he's not that big. I wanted bigger Hulk. I'm just going to give that critique. I hope we get bigger Hulk because he looks like he's maybe 7 feet tall right here. Not even. I mean, he looks like he's a foot, maybe a little over a foot taller than Peter. I don't know, but we'll see. So we got Hulk right here. All right, now here, he looks bigger than Spider-Man. So that's the thing is here he looked small, but here, where he's bashing him into stuff, he looks bigger. So he is going to grow. Obviously right there, because you can see he's got him in his hand. So now we've got the shorts are ripped off. We've got actual Hulk. And it's not Mark Ruffalo Hulk. It's not Mark Ruffalo Hulk. It's actual Hulk.
I'm sorry, but you're in danger. What?
I promised you that I would keep you safe. Please, you just have to trust me. Come on.
Fine.
I just love she's like, okay.
You're the only
And
one
then
who
we're going
can
to get our
sense it.
swing. But there we go. We got the hand. So we got the hand ninjas. So again, I don't think it's Jean Grey. I think it's somebody else. I'm not sure who to think it is, but they can manipulate people's minds and jump from body to body. I don't think it's mind manipulation. I think it's someone jumping from body to body, because in this trailer, I think it's in this trailer too, we see kind of like the shifting constantly into other people talking to him. I think that was in the previous trailer. So I don't believe it's Jean Grey. I believe it is another character that can jump into bodies, right?
Hey, can we do this one at a time, please?
You're the only one who can defeat it.
So this looks badass. But again, that is who everyone's thinking is going to be Sadie Sink right here. Kind of in the garb right here. But she's in a whole bunch of stuff with the computers and everything else. I don't think it's Jean Grey. I just don't. None of it makes sense. And then we've got like this huge kind of sonic boom going out here off the city. And like I said, none of it adds up to Jean. Oh, here he is fighting dudes. I mean, we got him bouncing. Now, that was interesting to me, is the gauntlet he was using right there. You see, it looks like he's got a gauntlet on. And I wonder if it's some kind of like a gamma gauntlet, because you can see it right here in his hand as he's jumping. And he has like a gauntlet attached to his hand, almost like a power fist. And it glows as he goes out towards the Hulk. So I'm wondering if he's trying to like gamma charge his punches. And I'm going to just kind of try to go frame by frame here. But yeah, we can see here, he literally, it looks like a Fallout power gauntlet. And it's charging up, right? So he's going up at Hulk, and he's going to hit him with it. So here it is more right here. Yeah, we've got a whole big gauntlet on his arm, glowing green. So my only theory is that he's looking to fight fire with fire, and he's going to infuse his fist with gamma and bash Hulk, right? And try to put him down and knock him out. Either that, or it's some kind of magical BS thing to get whatever's mind-controlling Hulk out of Hulk. But again, we see he's got a little doodad. So we got obviously Spider-Man Brand New Day. Ned's got the Spidey tracker.
The Spidey
app.
tracker app says that Spider-Man is in the direct vicinity.
Oh yeah? No way, that's crazy.
Okay, so it's July 31st. It's the end of the month. I'm very excited, and no, I didn't get my tickets yet. I'm going to see it when I get a chance to see it. But I know I'm going to have to bring my daughter to go see it. She wants to go see it. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm more excited for Spider-Man than I am for Doomsday. The Doomsday trailer left me very underwhelmed. After watching it again and going over it, I'm very underwhelmed by it. I'm not going to rush out to go see it. I will see it when I see it. My daughter's probably going to get me to go see it, so we'll probably go see it together. But I am definitely seeing Spider-Man. I'm going to wait. She comes back next week, so we'll probably be able to go see it together. But I am way more hyped for Spider-Man than I am for Doomsday by far. Uh, Responding to a text. So, I mean, really, I think we could have, and only because I don't think, I really don't want to think it's Jean Grey, right? But the only thing is if Sadie Sink is playing the villain character, right, the antagonist. I mean, the only real villains that make sense into what they've shown with the body jumping and the conversations at Peter and knowing he's Peter, right, are going to be like the Jackal and Carrion and Mr. Negative, and then maybe we could get Chameleon, but he's more of a master of disguise, not a, body jumper. But I mean, people are, everyone's saying that it's going to be, Jean Grey and she's going to be evil, but I just don't know. And the other one it could be, which is going to be the most likely one, is, oh my god, it's kind of a deep lore. Uh, Sorry, I was just responding to that. So it's gonna be I think is it Kralik? Kralik? It's been a while since I've named it. Kralik? Dude, I'm brain farting the name. But basically, they're a demon. And because we've seen the hand and we've seen Punisher now, I'm thinking it's gonna be that, and maybe the demon is gonna possess Jean Grey. So we're gonna have Kralik. I think it's a Kralik or It's not Karlak. Karlak is someone different. I think it's Kralik. I think that's the pronunciation. But they're like a supernatural character, and God, it has been so long since I've even freaking bothered with that. God, when was that? They've been around forever, but they're like a big monster creature, and they had a big part in the Shadowland series with Daredevil, where Daredevil was kind of possessed as well. So yeah, I mean, the character's been around for a long time. I think he's from like the 80s, and they just called him, the Beast. I think it was the Beast, not Beast. It was the Beast, and people used to get him confused with Beast from the X-Men. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I think we're getting Kralik. Kralik, yeah. Like I said, I'm just trying to remember. It's been a while. It's been a while. But that's who I'm thinking it is. I'm thinking, because we're seeing the hand and we're seeing Frank Castle, that it's going to be more or less that. But there is a possibility that he could be possessing Jean Grey to get the telepathic details so we can read Peter Parker's mind, so we know Spider-Man's Peter Parker. Unless he jumps into Spider-Man's body, he doesn't know. So I think we're going to have something twofold here, where maybe we'll see Jean Grey, and Kralik is possessing her, much like how the Shadow King possessed Storm previously, right? So maybe we're going to get something like that, where he's going to possess Jean, he's going to mind read Peter Parker, he's going to find out, who he is, or he's going to possess Spider-Man, find out who he is, and then we're going to have him jumping from body to body to mess around with him. Because of Peter's mutation that we've seen in the other trailer, where we're getting kind of the organic web shooters are coming, and we saw the eyes go dark. So we're getting more of the spider kind of persona of Spider-Man. So I don't know. Just my theories on Spider-Man. As I said, I'm way more excited for Brand New Day than I ever would be for Avengers Expendables. So I have been thinking about this movie a lot. And I will actually let you guys know what I think about the movie when I see it in, I believe, 2 weeks. So, I went very long today. We're going 3.5 hour mark. I am going to end the stream, guys. But before I end the stream, let me give another layout of what we had with Bunny Girl Week. Of course, we had the amazing Rurudu Miku, which is aka Heart Hands Miku by Cute Bunnies. I freaking adore this one, guys. I think she's gorgeous. I highly recommend it. She was my pick of the week. I love this Miku. Cannot sing its praises highly enough. Twin Tuesday. We went with the duo by Cute Bunnies, Rem and Rom, in the black and white costumes to kind of add a little bit of variety to our bunny costumes. Love them both. Standard Rem, standard Rom. Made it up almost in their kind of neck pieces here with their headbands as well. I love them. I think they're adorable. We went over to a larger scale, 3 1/4 scale of Yuna from Kuma Kuma Bear and Kuma Kuma Bear Punch. I think it's a freaking adorable piece. I loved her little puppets, her little gloves. Freaking awesome piece. Very underrated series. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely give it a watch. It's really a lot of fun. And then, of course, we went to, Mommy All Praise, Makima, our savior and murderer. Of course, in her Step on Me by Cute Bunnies, with more of a covered up bunny girl look with the shorts and tank top kind of look. But she still has those killer freaking dummy mommy boots that she's rocking, those thigh highs. Love it. Love this Makima. Highly recommend it. And then we finished off the week with Demon Lord Our Lady Malim in the 3 1/4 scale bunny series as well. And yeah, they gave Malim the cake. They gave her the boobies. They gave her everything. I absolutely adore this one. It is one of my favorite freeing bunnies. Probably because she doesn't have a big obnoxious face. And that was everything. So we went way too long today. We covered a lot of topics, and there were many more I wanted to discuss, but I don't want to go too long, so I am going to end things today. Thank you to everybody who came in and chatted. Thanks to everybody who came in and lurked. Shout out to you guys on YouTube. Shout out to the couple people over on Twitch. Discoverability sucks over on Twitch, by the way, guys. I'm kind of regretting starting it up, but the more the merrier. Back for gaming streams. I did not do one yesterday. I'm going to be doing a gaming stream. Back for gaming streams on Wednesday this week because I didn't do one on Monday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, game streams. We're going to try to finish Final Fantasy IV and maybe throw in a little gotcha game goodness. And then I got to find something new to stream. So if you guys got any recommendations, shoot them out to me, and we'll get into checking some of those out. Tomorrow I have an unboxing going live on the channel. Not telling you who it is yet. And obviously Friday will be prize figure face-off, the next episode. I want to try to get those out weekly, if not bi-weekly, a little bit more frequently because I have a lot of figures to unbox. So that is it for all the goodness to expect this week. So make sure you guys follow on all the socials down there, guys. Click the like button, the subscribe button, the share button. Spread the nerdiness. Again, thank you to everybody who came in today. Thanks to everyone who's been watching the VODs. And if the trailer reactions have to get cut in the VODs later, guys, I apologize. Just know I'm very excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm very much not excited for Avengers Expendable, aka Avengers Doomsday. So, those are my final thoughts. Thank you guys again for coming in today, and I'll see you all later, guys. Bye, everyone.